Right as I hit
Okay.
live, he's just, hi everyone, hello, 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 and hello to my lovely horror. Eating,
Hello.
bite my left tit.
Why the left one?
Because I'm right-handed and I want to always be right, whereas I left her in the dust. Shh, roll with it.
Okay.
Pretend it was witty.
I'm just gonna pretend it made sense.
Exactly. Shush. By the way, guys, if you are already following me, if you're already someone subscribed to my channel, leave here and go watch this on Horror's channel. She needs to watch ours.
I haven't checked my watch hours lately. Where's my phone?
Rachel got it. That's right, Rachel.
Yeah,
Also,
Rachel was there while I was playing some Frozen Flame with my friend.
Rachel's the real MVP.
Rachel's great.
Bite my left tit. That's right, Shadow Warden.
You heard the woman.
You heard me.
Now just pretend it makes sense.
I mean, you can do both if you want. I don't have enough computers to do that. What are you? Yeah? You my little happy girl? Hardcore lurker, ooh-woo.
There we go. Fixed it.
Fixed what?
Oh, it wasn't behaving right.
You want to talk to the people?
I think Jeff just followed me on Kick. Hi, Jeff.
Some little
Hi, kitty.
Aria ASMR. They have been all over me this week. Mind you, I have felt better this week than I've felt obviously in the previous weeks. Got up, because anyone who's lost someone or gone through a minor depression, you know the first thing that happens, your house is a fucking mess.
Oh, yeah.
So today was my day off. You know what I did? I scrubbed down the kitchen, got everything fixed up, because on top of that, as you all know, in but a few weeks, if that, the cooking stream is happening, and I want to make sure my kitchen look right purty for it. But, so, Horror, you had a lovely long stream.
I had a whole 12 hours.
How'd you feel about that?
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I feel a little bad. Maybe some of my guests didn't enjoy it as much, but you know, this happens. And
I had a blast.
yeah, no, Lethal's the only one I was worried about.
Oh,
because he didn't get to participate in the game, and he was kind of sitting there. And, huh?
Didn't he keep getting kicked by accident?
No.
I know a couple people kept like trying to be on.
Yeah.
As soon as the game was start with.
Devil made me do it, and somebody else that was happening too.
I enjoyed watching them beat the shit out of each other.
It's a fun game. Hey, Shags.
Why, hello, Shags. Hello, hello. Oh, it's one of those weeks where it's weird. Did anybody forget to turn back their clocks? Does anybody not do that? Someone roasted me about that. I think it was my friend, Kaylee. She's like, oh, imagine having to do that. I was like, oh, suck it. I personally enjoy daylight savings. I don't know why. Maybe I'm too much of a traditionalist.
It makes no sense to me.
Apparently, it helps out with the calendar.
It doesn't.
Shh, let me live in my delusions.
Doesn't do anything
all over again.
It doesn't even help the farmers. The farmers would just get up earlier anyway.
He wants our wisdom today. I actually feel pretty honored. I've been getting some messages. I will tell you, there's always this moment when I'm in a low spot on YouTube because I haven't streamed. I did not realize how integral my Tuesday streams were to my rotation in the algorithm. And I also didn't realize I hadn't done it in 3 weeks.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize you hadn't done it in 3 weeks either.
It didn't occur to me.
I thought you just missed last week.
Right. Nope, because I missed it the day that Zora was sick. Then I got sick. And then I skipped it to do the Halloween thing.
Right.
3 weeks. And I was like, I have not breached 1,000 on any of my video views. That's unusual for me. I at least can make it up to 4,000. So I was like, shit. And I was trying to think. I know that I got a little tapped because someone dropped the R word, not the one about is more like on my stream. And
I mean, that could have been me. I'd say the word. I say the word all the time. Hell.
And I noticed a sharp decline in my views then. So I knew I got yanked a little bit for that. But I think what really killed me was me not streaming. So I will be streaming tomorrow, but I will warn, I see some of my hardcore people here right now. I am going to be late. Just like on Halloween. I have to go see my boss. But this time it's to discuss the holiday season because the whatchamacallit, you only know them by their real names, you don't know them by their code name. But waitress Diane, she has actually gotten an offer to split her time with another restaurant.
Ooh.
And the thing is, when you're a waitress who's pure tips, and that restaurant is more established in our town, more well known in our town. Oh, thank God it's outside. I heard scratch. Sorry, you guys couldn't hear what I can hear. I heard, and all my cats just spun around, stared at the wall, and I was like, there's something outside scratching at our trash bin right now. And more than likely, it's a raccoon or a possum.
Awesome.
And, like, honey, we have him a baby. And, whatchamacallit. No, not honey, we having a baby late. I'm talking like she wants me to meet her during the time I would normally stream. So it'll probably be like normally when I'm ending stream is when I'll be on stream. He got you again, didn't he?
His breath.
Oh, see, last time he like licked her in the mouth.
Oh, he does that all the time. This time it was just his breath. Stinky ass breath.
So I was sitting there. I'm not trying to be gross, but I leave the bathroom door open because the dogs and the kittens now. See, Zoro's passed away, but the kittens, when I'm in the room with them, they have figured out the doorknob is what opens the door. And I know the time to put them in the crate because they take turns jumping up and trying to hit the doorknob to open. But anyway, so I was sitting in the bathroom and I was doing what people do in the bathroom. And I was bored and I've got buck teeth. So I was going, and I was making a whistling sound. And Orion, usually when he hears a noise, he comes up and he just sniffs. Today, he did not just sniff. I leaned over, I made the whistling sound, and he went, oh. And he just like, bleh. But bleh. I was not pleased with that. But you know, it is what it is. But in case anyone didn't know, I made the executive decision because I didn't have enough time to post it up. It's going to be Italian food for my cooking stream. All Italian. I'm doing a lasagna, I'm doing baked ziti, I'm going to be doing a stromboli, I'm going to make my homemade tomato sauce with angel hair spaghetti, and I'm going to be making some chicken cutlets. I'm going to be very what's the word I'm looking for?
Tomato oriented?
It's not that. It's industrious or it's when I'm manigot. No, I'm not gonna do manigot. That takes too long. Because then you gotta make the ricotta mix. You gotta make the.
Get it down.
Not only that, but it's very cheese heavy. Whereas I can make lasagna less cheese heavy, and I can make baked ziti less cheese heavy. Because the thing is, both my father and my brother can't have a lot of oil, and my sister-in-law is expecting the baby right now, so she can't have a lot of oil, and she can't have things that make her too stopped up. So a manigot is like 80% cheese, and so I'm just not doing that. But yeah, I'm gonna do a bunch of different things. I told Starman. Anything else he wants, let me know. My father, because of his stipulations, I was like, because he's diabetic, he can't have a lot of pasta. So I was like, Daddy, if there's anything else you want, yes, I'm 36 and still call my father Daddy.
I still call my mom mommy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I even call her mama.
Mommy. My coworker Diane, her dad is 77. She's a little older than me. She calls her dad Daddy too. But whatchamacalls it. So I told him, I was like, I know that you can't have a lot of pasta, and you really shouldn't. So if you want something else for me to make on the side,
Eater.
just see. The only problem is, shadow warning, is not enough people in my family eat fettuccine alfredo. It would go to waste because I don't like a lot of pasta. I don't eat baked ziti. I don't eat lasagna. I'm making this for the rest of the family, and I'm making a separate one for Starman. I actually rearranged the freezers to make sure I had room for all this. I just call my husband Daddy. That's what you call Henry Cavill? The more you know.
Call him T-Rex Jr.
How fucking dare you? How dare you? I refuse to acknowledge it. You know what? Sure, he's a T-Rex, but he's got the body of an Adonis. You can just make. You can wrap tiny arms around me anytime.
His tiny arms.
Is that a big head?
Oh, that picture's not going away for a while.
I couldn't help it. My dad, the other day, I went over to his house to help him with the cats.
Hey, Jack.
Which is one of the things I wanted to discuss. And he had Meet the Robinsons on. And my father and I love the film. The song from the movie is what plays when my dad calls. He and I were roasting the shit out of it. He's like, I love this movie, but this doesn't make no fucking sense. I was like, I know, Dad, it never has. But it was like, I liked it because it was very, it was such a branch off from what Disney had normally done.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I loved it so much. They really put their whole ass in it, and it just, but, so, one of the things I had to talk about was tiny arms. Stop, Nate. We just stopped laughing.
It's hard not to think about it.
Listen, I see what he can bench press with his hips. He don't need the arms, all right? Let's just leave it at that. He can take care of me with just the legs. Anyways, so my dad's cats are older. And the other day I had to take care of his Chewy order. My dad he uses Halo for their kibble. Great, I know because I'm the one that recommended it. He still used Purina Pro Plan for their wet food. And they have so much it's not, Purina's wet food is not the worst of the worst. I will say that. I would rather their wet food than their dry food any day. But their wet food's still shit.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call a spade a spade. And so, and my father, I love him to death. You all know that I feed my animals high protein. So the smaller, thin cans, on top of a full cup of dry food every day he's giving these cats.
Shit.
And they're constantly full, these bowls, even though I've told them not to. These old guineas, we never listen. And he gives them a full can each. And a full tube of the meat purees. How are these cats overweight? It's a mystery.
I can't imagine.
Can't imagine. And so the thing is, but they don't eat most of that food. It goes to waste. I know because when I take care of the cats, whenever he goes away or does something, and I come the next day, and their dishes are still half full of food.
Right.
So he's pissing away money. I've told him this. Well, my dad's getting tired of having an excess amount of cans. Chewy was increasing something. So I was sneaky. I said, Daddy, how much do you spend on, I guess he gets 2 trays of 24.
Mm-hmm.
And that's $37 for 2 trays. Okay, it's affordable. I was like, Daddy, how about $38 for 1 set of 24 and you only need 1 can a day? Well, it's not enough for them. Shut up, Dad. Yes, it is. And I explained to him, I was like, remember, this is high protein. He's like, well, the urinary tract formula is why I got that. Yes, but the thing is, you don't need a urinary tract formula if they're getting proper nutrients from the wet food they get.
Mm-hmm.
Did you convince him to cook for his cats? My father, I love my dad, but he is 73 years old and he cannot feel his right arm because of whatchamacallit.
Diabetes.
No,
Oh.
because my father has injured himself so many times. My father's had 22 surgeries in his lifetime. Okay.
Hmm.
And my father has broken, I don't know how many bones. My dad re-broke his arm in a fist fight in a bar that he already had in a cast because he used the cast to break someone's jaw. To give you an idea of what my father used to be like and why I give zero shits in my lifetime, because my father pretty much taught me that you could get your ass beat from here to Vietnam and back and still be alive. So if my father, who was definitely not good at obeying rules, could make it, and I, a rule keeper, I got a good shot. But anyways, so I got my dad on a rotation of getting tiki. The new order's coming soon. And I'm like, don't worry, Dad. I'll take all those Purina off your hands. I'll put them somewhere else. I'll donate them.
For the trash can. Yeah.
Trash can. Well, I mean, I'll give them to the shelter because, you know, better than nothing. But they ain't going to my animals, I'll tell you that. And, oh yeah, my dad is I will tell you right now, I did not tell my dad about the doxing attempts. Not one of them. Because he would have tried to find something to do.
Yeah.
He didn't know until they were already said and done and finished. And the only reason he found out is because they called his house.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Granted, they didn't do it directly. They had a doctor's office do it, but I digress.
How do you do that? Oh, right. By trying
Right.
to set up an appointment? I don't remember.
So, whatchamacallit. When I get to the house a week ago, I'm looking at his cats. Now we have Brady, Bandit, and Johnny. Johnny is reasonably normal. I believe he's got some kind of disorder because Johnny jumps up and down in weight. Sometimes his fur seems very oily. I do believe it's diet based. He's the one that needs the urinary tract shit. Bandit and Brady, they're fucking Goodyear blimps. Bandit has lost weight and now he can keep his back clean and he can lick out his mats. Brady, so named after Tom Brady, could double for a football.
Thanks, sir.
He a biggin. He
Yeah.
a big old boy. And so as a result, my dad asked me, because my dad can't do their claws. He never was good at doing cat claws. My mother was. So ever since my mother passed away, I have been coming over bi-weekly and doing the cat's claws. And Johnny's the most violent. You two again. Listen, mister. Hi, Tony.
Now, you came here. Who'd you expect to see?
Whatchamacallit. So Johnny is the most violent. So we've actually had to devise a whole plan where it's we have gone through so many different methods. So I'm gonna take you all through it. If you two have a violent cat who hates getting their claws clipped and has an owner that placates them at every single corner, because my dad, if we stepped out of line, the octaves he would hit with Johnny. Now, Johnny, did you think you could get on the table? I'm like, where the fuck did this man come from? I'll just roast him. She'd be like, oh, it's all big and bad till Johnny does it. We all roast the shit out of him. For some reason, my dad is like this with that cat. And like anything he does, my dad just takes it down a few steps. So I never let dad help with the claw clipping for Johnny because instead of my dad putting him in his place, he goes, "Now, Johnny, you can't do it. Don't you bite, Cassandra. Don't you bite." And I'm like, "Oh."
I'm gonna get bit.
Mind you, my dad was a drill sergeant, okay? My dad is a street punk. My dad's won more fights than any, and yet he is butter in this cat's paws. So what Starman and I do is we get onto the couch. Starman, I either call it scruff and butt or chest and butt. And what chest and butt is Starman puts Johnny's butt in his lap, holds him with facing me under his arms. I wish I could grab one of the cats and demonstrate. And then what I do is I get one of those tubes of meat puree and then I slather it all over his nose.
Oh, God.
And while Johnny's distracted trying to figure out what to do with the stuff, I'm like click, 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 and I'm going as fast as I can. Because I will tell you, out of all the cats, and I have puncture scars on my arm. They're hard to see. Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Right there. From some of my cats. Johnny will bite you to hurt you. And Johnny has some of the strongest claws of any cat I've ever owned. And he is very strong. So we waste a whole ass tube on him sometimes. But afterwards, he ain't cutting open my diabetic dad. And this isn't where we parked that car. He just wanted me to read that out loud, I can tell.
Yeah. It's no fun if I say it, so.
Right. No, actually I want to see what does your accent do when you say that?
This isn't where we parked our car.
It just sounds apathetic, you're right. my
I really don't have an accent.
You do, it's just not that accent.
Yeah.
Like I would love to hear you say "don't you know" and we're gonna go dairy cow tipping or something like that. It comes out a little Midwestern from you.
Why would I say anything about dairy cow tipping?
Oh, she purposely made it less Midwestern.
No, that's how I mean, don't you know?
When you're not thinking about it, it does happen where you sound a little more like, "Oh, don't you know?"
I've noticed sometimes I pick up a few various ones. There's sometimes I'll sound a little southern, and then there's sometimes I'll just sound weird. So
Midwestern is. I mean,
they're
they
strange.
made ambrosia salad. I mean, come on. Ugh. But anyways, half the things that are called salad that come out of the Midwest, I wouldn't even look at. We're talking, it better be a nuclear fallout, and I'm still thinking I might starve for a few days. I'll live out the fat stores. Anyways, so while I was doing Johnny's claws, I noticed that Brady had like little cones sticking up off of his back. Hi, Faye. And what that is all the mats on his back.
Oh,
This big boy's so big, he can't reach them. He can reach everything around them. He can't reach that.
poor baby.
Bless him, he tries. Brady's so cute. He's got one of the cutest faces on a cat you'll ever see. And so I took my buzzer, and now he's got like a little football field patch on his back. It's just this perfect square out of his back. But I'll tell you what, he loves getting scratched on that right now because it was
I'm sure.
most. And again, she's had long-haired dogs. Most animals that get mats like that, they get nasty. Not Brady, because these were twisted pretty tight, and he was still being sweet as pie. And I tried because sometimes, so like with Zorro's mats were so bad, but they were easy to pull. Like all I had to do was tug a little bit and they would release. You can do that with some cats. Brady's were so tight. Like I tried to clip him in half because I don't know if you guys know this. Sometimes you can release a whole mat if you just split it down the middle, and then you can brush it out and it'll release. These were like
They were down to the skin, sounds like.
it. Oh yeah, and they had like this under coat,
Mm-hmm.
like wool almost. It was insane. And so, and then Bandit had the littlest, tiniest one. And I just didn't want to run the risk. So he has a little tiny like soul patch cut out on his right hip. And I just want to bring that up because guys, a $24 wall buzzer for beards from Walmart. Buy one if you have cats that are elderly or if you have dogs with long fur, have it on hand. You're not supposed to buzz down certain dog furs. It's not good for them. However, if you cannot afford to go to a groomer because groomers are expensive and your animal is in pain.
Hey, Savage.
Hello. The most humane thing you can do is buzz out that
the mat.
The mat.
Best thing to do is brush them before they get that far. But
well, that's what I was telling my dad. I was like, "Listen, Dad, you now have him at a starting point. You're not running it because this is when the first time I had to shave them down was when my dad was like really getting in for the heart surgery. After a certain 6 months, almost the day he had to go into surgery because after this thing, know what I'm saying? Man with no heart issues suddenly gets one, but that's okay. So at that time, my dad was in and out of the VA all the time. And he had to go in a lot afterwards so they could keep track of what was wrong with them, what was going on. And so he really wasn't keeping up with it. My dad has a whole series of brushes for the cats. I'm like, Dad, just get in the habit of it. And I say the same thing to you. You can get a wide tooth comb. You can get just if you have to shave them down to the skin, do not use the metal curry combs. Use like those wide toothbrushes they get for people that have the rubber ends. Use those.
That good brush would be okay.
Yeah. Rubber. They have those rubber glove brushes now you can use.
Yeah.
The main thing is you're relieving their skin of the itch and you're promoting a better growth. Because just like with our own hair, like for instance, I will show you with this. Now, why is my hair doing that? Because I've styled it a certain way for so long that I've actually forced the growth in this direction. So it goes all fucking haywire. I just washed my hair. But as soon as I put it back where it belongs, all's well. You can do the exact same thing with your pet's hair. You just have to be consistent. If you know your animal's prone to mats, if you have an animal with corkscrew fur, if you have an animal with... I know that Faye Queen was joking, but dogs have 4C fur too. If you have a double-coated dog, any of this stuff, you know what? This bitch right here, she got long fur. You take it away. Tell them what you do.
Well, they're long fur with double coats at that. So I have two coats to deal with, the longer outer coat and then the shorter, more dense coat towards the surface, which I use a wide tooth comb on. And I try, well, one of them gets shaved down regularly by the groomer. Another one goes every other month. Grace has the best fur of them all and is the easiest to she just combs through so easy. Oh my God. It's like it. I won't even. And Sydney. Well, this was partly my fault. So I had that cute little shirt on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sydney has an interesting combination of his mother's fur and his dad's fur. His dad's fur is very thick and woolly, and his mother's fur is very smooth and silky. So I have mats from hell that I am picking out of that dog, and he's not happy with me right now because it's one of those situations where I can't sit down and do it all at once. I'm having to do it in sessions. So we've gotten most of him out. We've got the worst ones because the bad places are always under their armpits, down their sides. Because the thing you got to remember when you have a dog with long hair or even any fur, that's especially a double-coated dog that mats up like these do. We're talking Huskies, Chows, St. Bernards are actually good for it. Newfoundlands, Samoyeds, sled dogs especially because they have, because they have those big fluffy, and their inner coat is much worse I need my top coat. I understand the feeling. Uh,
Same,
but
but I can't do that on stream.
you have to make sure when you do those kind of dogs, you also want to use a detangler or some kind of leave-in conditioner, because that will actually help you loosen anything in there and make it easier on you and the dog. Because trust me, dogs don't like to have the snarls, but you have to watch the snarls in those tender places between the legs, around the genitals, on their undersides, definitely behind their ears, under their collar. Sydney doesn't wear a collar 90% of the time just because I don't like to fuss. So the fact that he's not wearing a collar is just the fact that I don't have to deal with it. Grace wears a collar now, but now I've got her to the point where if I take off her collar to brush her neck, she genuinely enjoys it.
Yeah, because
So
Daisy was like that. Half my really fluffy cats, like Daisy and Penny, both have very similar fur.
Mhm.
And with Daisy, there is still a little bit of a ring around her neck from where her fur and it didn't grow properly because the collar was there for so long. But it's like horror just told everyone exactly why she and I don't believe in doodles. What's wrong with Sydney's fur again? Please, I need you to remind everyone, because I think like if we don't say it enough, people somehow keep forgetting.
He has a softer overcoat and a harder undercoat. It tangles up real nice. Now, in this case, it's not the fact that he's a mix. It's just the fact that his mom and dad had slightly different fur types. And normally, not a big deal. For some reason, because he is an absolute freaking enormous, absolutely genetic fuck up that I don't know how occurred. Because this dog is now 18 pounds for a breed that is supposed to be between 4 and 8.
He's big boned.
He's big something. But yeah, so that's an important thing. In doodles, I can understand why. My best friend actually had her groomer tell her that she is not allowed to get a doodle because of the amount of work. She does not do doodles. If you bring her a doodle and you don't bring it soon enough, she won't do it. And even if you do bring it soon enough, she has one haircut for a doodle, and that is all of it gone.
I mean, I will tell you right now, I don't know if I already said it on the channel, but a couple of months back, my boss said she wanted to get a dog. Now, to begin with, my boss's religion dictates no animals inside. I'm like, so why? But she's whatchamacallit. She wants a dog. She wants an outside dog. She really wanted a particular kind of doodle. I said, no matter what, I said, no. Here's why. Now, my boss is also one of my good friends, and I love her dearly. She got annoyed watching me stuff flowers for fried blossoms. Okay? Take too long. They're flower petals.
They're pretty delicate.
They're pretty fucking delicate. She tried and she broke the petal. She said, oh, it's because these are old and bad. Sure, that's it. She don't like nothing complicated. She don't like nothing that takes a lot of work. And she don't like nothing that's going to be that expensive. I said, go ahead and get a doodle. And the monthly $300 grooming bill you're going to need to pay. Don't let me catch you dumping that dog later in the shelter because you don't want to handle it. And so I showed her a Spanish water dog. Because,
those are so cute.
Oh, yeah. Well, because the thing is, right? So she had stipulations. She wanted a working class dog. Rejoice, hello, Bublito, but I'm in the middle of talking. She wanted a working class dog. She wanted a hardy dog. She wanted an all seasons dog. She wanted a dog that could go into water. Okay? She also wanted a dog that was minimal work.
Hey, wait.
So a Spanish water dog only needs to be going to the groomer once a year, as long as you routinely brush it and keep it on a very good diet. I love my boss. That is not something she would do. Neither of them. She is very much a I don't give a fuck what that dog is eating. Its belly is full.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. She is that kind of person. She's a very pragmatic, streamlined, do not make it complicated. She is so you can't complicate things that in the middle of dinner service, do not talk. And what I mean by do not talk is don't start telling stories, don't start joking around, not unless we are all caught up and everything's good. Because the literal sound of other people talking to each other drives her nuts. I will walk up to her and I'll be like, how many chicken do I have to drop? And she'll look at me and go, I don't know what that means. The words aren't registering in her fucking head. That's how uncomplicated she needs to be. And I say all this because if you too are an uncomplicated person, if you as well cannot handle bullshit over complicated shit, and a dog that requires daily grooming, don't get a motherfucking doodle. Please. They're an abomination to begin with. They are wonderful dogs. I actually met one. Oh
Yeah.
my God, he was so cute. I don't know if I told you about this. He was outside my restaurant. Cutest fucking dog. Very well behaved. Only 10 months old. These people had trained it very well. You bet your ass I started saying, okay, have you ever owned a doodle before? You haven't owned a doodle before? Okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to look up. This is what you need to do. And they were like, how do you know all these things? And I'm like, well, I do animal rescue. And they were like, I could have told them that I was Mother Teresa and they wouldn't have been as excited. But I will say, like, they had a very well-behaved boy. He was very cute. And I just told them, I said, listen, because they were well-off people.
Mm.
I said, regardless of your financial situation, regardless of whether or not you can handle it, the fact of the matter is this is still going to be an expensive groomer visit. I said, so I highly recommend learning how to groom your dog yourself. I said, this will save you a lot of money and save the dog a lot of pain.
Yep.
They also live in a hotter state. They don't live where I am. I said, he is going to be prone to mats and he can get overheated very easily. Please keep him well brushed, or else it's going to end up in disaster for you and for him.
Or even just keep him trimmed down.
You come with too many things, and now you have a new child, all full grown. It's there's a new friend living with her. I can't rescue her. I have to take the baby. I gotta take the phobo. I can't do all that. I can't.
Yeah.
But so yeah. But let's get into today's main topic. Something that horror showed me, and I'm very interested.
Yeah, and while we've been talking, I've done a little research. It's probably a good thing I've never used anything from this book.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So here's what we're looking at. Don't get this stuff. Don't. If you see this book, just don't. And I'm going to read the first recipe. And I'm going to do this just to watch Starson's face and see if she picks up the immediate issues that I did.
All right, I'm going to listen.
So this is for Parmesan pleasers. 2 cups whole wheat flour. 1/3 cup vegetable oil. 1/3 cup powdered milk. 1 egg. 1/4 cup Parmesan cheese. 2 teaspoons garlic powder.
Okay, so hold on. Before I say anything, I should have been doing this while you were reading that. I should have been doing this. This is what I should have been doing. I should have been clicking on these.
Yeah, you were like, that kind of covers the whole thing.
Okay. Wait, hey, oh.
Yes. Yeah. I got to that one and I'm like,
what next, Powdered onion. Let's just round it
Are we
out.
trying to kill the dog? What's going on here?
So to begin with, vegetable oil, when it's vegetable oil, contains a conglomerate of different things. One of the key things being corn and soy. What do we say in this fucking show all the time is terrible for dogs? And they wanted how many cups of it?
For the vegetable oil, it's only a third of a cup, but
Okay,
still.
God, I thought you said 3 cups. I was like,
Yeah, no, this is really not. And I did double check because because it said garlic powder in here, and I'm like, wait, you don't give dogs garlic.
oh
So
God, just like onion.
yeah, you don't give dogs garlic in any amount.
Garlic. What's next, dog raising?
So you just said some important things here. Let me read you the next recipe.
Oh God.
This is leap for liver.
Wait, leaps for liver?
Leap for liver is what they call it.
Okay.
1 pound sliced beef liver,
Okay.
save the juice. 1/4 cup water. 1 small box corn muffin mix.
Oh, they were so good for this for a minute.
For like a second, you're like, okay, yeah, I can do.
That's
Wait,
so
what?
bad. They're trying to kill the good boy.
They're trying to kill the good. They are, and that's not even the worst one. Let me see if I
look
can
at the
find it.
foreshadowing, the shadow warning.
Yeah, right? Which one was
I
it?
just will give him grapes and speed up the party. Oh, good God. Fun fact, in case we haven't said it ad nauseum already, much like chocolate, garlic and onion do not leave your dog's system. It builds up. Just like mercury poisoning for people.
Is there a recipe written by the ETF? No, but this one might have been.
Oh, get ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Go for
2
it, girl.
cups whole wheat flour. 1/2 cup rice flour. 1/2 cup soy flour.
The rice flour wasn't too bad, but keep going. And why so much flour?
I don't know. 1/4 cup powdered milk. 1 teaspoon chopped fresh parsley, which parsley is very good for your dogs.
Yeah, parsley, not bad. But I'm ready.
1 teaspoon garlic powder.
Oh no, there's more? Is there more?
The rest of it's actually not bad. Some yeast, some water, chicken stock, an egg, and some skim milk.
Vegans add garlic and then blame eggs for killing their dog.
No, there's one in here. I saw. Is it this one? Ah, here we go. Yeah. So
Uncle Vic's special book.
I have to write a book, actual real food for dogs. Yeah. Here's a recipe from the this is the meaty meals section.
Oh,
Meals for the dogs. Those were treats. This is a meal. And this is the canine casserole.
Oh boy.
So two brown rice, uncooked. Half
The worst.
pound chuck hamburger. 1 teaspoon vegetable oil. 1 clove garlic crushed.
Not even powder.
Nope, an entire freaking clove of garlic. And then carrots and broccoli. And it's like,
I feel like, wait a minute. I thought this was meaty meat.
It is. Oh, this is. I mean, so this one's actually not bad. This is the Big Dog Delight. It's 2 medium yams, 3 cups cooked brown rice,
Okay.
1.5 pounds beef liver or chicken liver,
Okay.
and 1.5 pounds pork shoulder blade steak.
Okay, see, a broken clock is right twice a day. They managed one that won't kill your dog. Wait, and
That one.
you found this in your college books, okay?
Yeah, I found this and I never used it. I can tell you that. I never cooked anything out of it.
So
This book was published in 2001.
Oh, this makes so much sense. And this is why I try to tell you guys, when people say, well, why is it now out of nowhere all these people are suddenly experts on pet food? Because nobody researched until now. This is 2001. This book came out.
Derp.
What a dirt. Canine casserole with steamed rice on an egg roll.
I hope whoever feeds that to their dog, John Wick, shows at their door. Yeah. And then you have, why would you, 3 jars, this is called Baby Oh Baby, 3 jars of beef or chicken baby food.
Which, by the way, all baby food contains like apples and pears and stuff in it. So it's like, might be things your dog shouldn't be eating. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then a half cup of cream of wheat. Yeah, and so many of these recipes, I'm not kidding, contain garlic.
It's because they believed for a while. I've heard this.
Oh, look, this one has a 14-ounce can of baked beans. I'm so glad I waited until on stream to read.
If you've never looked into the fucking ingredients in baked beans, let's just tack refined sugar.
Right.
Nothing says good home cooking for your dog like Bush's. Just because the dog's in the commercials doesn't mean the dog.
Doesn't mean you should feed it to them.
Next up, double chocolate walnut brownie.
I will say they at least recommend using carob over chocolate for dogs.
Did they at least know that then? Okay.
Yeah, they at least had that going for them.
Oh my god.
Oh god, this one has 2 garlic cloves in it.
And what I was trying to say before you gave me a minor aneurysm with baked beans was there was this belief for a while. Oh, that beautiful bean. Oh, God. It hurts. As I was saying,
I gotta check this over.
there was an idea for a while that it was safe to give your dog garlic in small amounts because it would supposedly stave off mosquitoes and fleas. Is it any wonder that dogs' life expectancies are usually around 8 years?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for fuck's sake. Oh, God. We can all see Starson trying to hold up a brain tumor for me. Like, bro. Small baby. I think the dog. Onion rings for dogs.
It does. There's actually a part in the book where it talks about things you shouldn't give your dog. Like onions. It says in small quantities, onions may be relatively safe for dogs, but why take the chance?
But throwing garlic in every recipe.
And they also don't want you to feed your dogs raw meat.
Pardon me while I say fuck off, book.
And they want there's apparently sunflower oil is not terrible for dogs. But they always
oil. No, wait, not avocado oil. Shit. What is the only oil that's honestly it's like butter is the only oil I know that's relatively safe for dogs.
Oh, the one I just looked up, the sunflower oil. And it just says it helps improve your dog's cardiovascular system by reducing low density cholesterol.
I would rather use fish oil. Like, I would rather use meat oil if I had.
Yeah, so would I. Yeah, this is
Stardust had the same exact idea as me, fish oil.
Mm-hmm.
Real food for dogs by Caligula.
I don't know that joy is the words, Shadow Warden.
I think, and I was only half serious when I said we're gonna roast the book, but my God,
Now we might need to.
we might need to, like, somebody get the coals going, like.
Well, and then what bothers me is they actually want you to use margarine instead of butter.
Which is a molecule away from plastic.
And to be fair, a lot of things are a lot of molecule away from plastic. That's
Yeah, but that one's like human made. Yes, olive oil. You are right, Rachel. I don't know why. Please don't take my Italian card. I think that. I think Shadow was pretty close to it. I felt a tumor forming. I think it was pressing on my frontal lobe, and ooh.
I never knew gorilla at the Villarona cookbook.
Listen, chat is on fire tonight. We got some quips in the chat
now
tonight.
Here's a recipe where they straight up want you to feed your dog pasta.
And you know, I have actually seen some people say, give your dog raw pasta. And I'm like, no.
Why?
No. As a safe, crunchy treat.
Just melt some Parmesan. They can have that.
And I did find out, this is something really cool. I could never figure out why, with my father being, shut up! My father being lactose, and Penny has been fucking screaming my ear off all day. It makes some interesting fuck walk. This ain't Lady and the Tramp, right?
Right.
Shit, what was I saying? Swear to God. This, as the kids say, this book got me fucked up. Like, Lady Starson got a massive aneurysm, and now she literally forgot olive oil was in it. I literally forgot olive oil was an available option. I was so thrown off by these fucking recipes. But again, we're talking 2001. You had pet cookbooks telling you don't feed your dog raw food. They can't digest it.
Oh, it doesn't say you can't digest it, in fairness.
What did they say?
Hold on, I'll read the paragraph. Raw meat carries the threat of bacteria and parasites. Of particular concern is salmonella, a bacterial organism that can cause a variety of diseases in both animals and people, and certain species of tapeworm that can be found in raw meat and passed to a pet that ingests the meat. So, yeah, that's their whole reasoning.
As if the dogs don't already have organs designed to process half that stuff. And as if there aren't millions of stray dogs across America that live full lives where there aren't any roadways and eat raw meat all the time.
Well, I'll tell you this much. As someone who has bred dogs, I can tell you right now, when a breeder is breeding their female, they will often have them wormed during the pregnancy, and then they will have the puppies wormed after the pregnancy, because there are worms present in your dog, whether they are active or not. So often they will pass to the puppies.
And that's in cats too.
Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter. Your dog already has worms. It's just they're not active because your dog has a healthy, strong immune system.
I think humans are the ones that have, like, generally, like, less parasites. But that's because, like, we've actively taken them out of our food. Go back only about a century and a half ago, most people had tapeworms.
Mm-hmm.
Most people had parasites in them because it's a natural, whether we like it or not, it is a natural part of nature. We just don't like it for obvious reasons, so.
Oh, there's a lot of things that realistically we've weakened ourselves because we've pushed them away so far. We get sick harder now when we get sick because of how clean we have a tendency to keep things, so we don't have those little things that keep our immune system strong. So it's a double-edged sword.
Right. And it's like, the thing is, I've always had this idea of, well, wolves, someone said bears, all these animals live long lives, no human intervention. We'll watch them and we'll see the same animal for years and years and years. How are they able to keep themselves healthy without oh God. I need my Slinky. Go ahead.
So, for our first vegetarian meal, we have Molly's Marvelous Veggie Casserole. We just find them in DC. Yeah, well, let's flush those. Fuck. 1 chopped cauliflower, 1 chopped broccoli, 1 chopped carrots, 1 chopped green bean, 1 clove garlic crushed, 1 teaspoon olive oil, salt, black pepper.
So why do they
Parmesan
use
cheese.
olive oil there? Wait a minute. The book now knows olive oil exists too, but they decided to do fucking vegetable oil for the other half of with the meat. Continue.
Just the amount of garlic they want you to feed your dog is driving me insane.
Fed your dog all of these recipes. In 2 months' time, the dog would probably die.
Yeah.
Because we're talking like your dog is ingesting whole heads of garlic a week.
Plus all the extra garlic powder that you're putting in there.
Garlic powder, but then on top of that, for added sprinkling of extra organ failure, we've got your soy, we've got your legumes, we got your wheat. We might
and
as
some
well
corn. Speaking of corn,
oh god,
pause up potato casserole. 3 medium potatoes sliced thin. 1/2 cup canned corn.
By the way, potatoes are also bad for your dog because it's pure starch. Continue.
1 cup cottage cheese. 1 carrot grated. Cup of milk. 1 tablespoon brewer's yeast.
Wait a minute, that's supposed to be vegan.
It's vegetarian, not vegan. Vegetarians can have milk. 1 tablespoon brewer's yeast and 1 cup grated cheddar. I don't know that yeast is good for dogs.
The brewer's yeast is a cheap ingredient that Purina and a lot of them use because it adds protein with almost zero nutritional value. Like brewer's yeast is fine for my dog. He's Irish. Shut up, Rachel. Hi, Toasty. Like, okay. Like,
doesn't say it's going to kill your dog anyway.
It's not gonna do it at first.
Huh?
It's not going to do it at first. It takes a while.
Yeah.
I want you guys to understand what she is doing right now. Starman regularly does to me, just with different subjects. So I need you to understand, like, there is a video on my Facebook, and I know it's cringe. I don't care. In the moment, I was full on emotional. It was showing Disney movies to kids, but these kids never seen these Disney movies before. And these kids were naming characters. I'm like, the fuck you mean it's Snow White? And I'm like, and so everyone that knows me really well will show me shit that they know flips me out. Because apparently I'm hilarious when I'm getting angry.
This is fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm enjoying myself.
Typically, it's like Starman will tell me things that someone fucked up precious art, or he'll tell me horrible Disney fan theories, or just continue.
Lip smacking green beans. 1 15-ounce can cream of mushroom soup.
Sodium aisle 1. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, wait, hold on, because they don't even. So we know who the brand is. Hold on. Aspetta Marona. I'm gonna look this up. Okay, let's just take a look, shall we? Of what is in
the cream of mushroom soup.
The cream of mushroom soup. Okay. We're gonna look up the Campbell's. That's the one everyone be fucking using. Oi, knock it the fuck off. That means you too. You want to start?
You were just entered stage 2. I'm not sure how she's gonna feel about the third ingredient. I'm gonna let her finish this part.
Hold on. I need to look this up. Cream of mushroom soup. Hold on. I don't want a recipe for it. I want the Campbell's. Okay. All right. We're not even going to look up the healthy request because it didn't exist then. We're going to look up this one right here. Let's look at the ingredients.
Regular old full salt.
Full salt.
Cream of mushroom soup.
Great to create. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Water, mushrooms, vegetable oil, corn, canola, and or soybean. Modified cornstarch, wheat flour, salt, cream, whey, soy protein concentrate, monosodium glutamate, that's MSG. Yeast extract, dried garlic, which I bet there's more garlic put in there afterwards, and natural flavorings. Warning, contains wheat, milk, and soy.
So the next ingredient is a half cup skim milk. 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce.
Ingredients. Worcestershire. Hold on. I just watched you. Distilled vinegar, molasses, sugar, salt, spices, citric acid, celery seed, xanthan gum,
Oh
garlic
God.
powder, and tamarind extract. That's in the classic French's Worcestershire sauce by McCormick. So again, we have sugar and salt and soy.
And spices, which I'm going to tell you right now includes garlic.
Oh yeah, and I forgot the garlic. Oh wait, you mean they add garlic?
No. There's no garlic more. You don't add garlic to this recipe.
Oh wow.
But thankfully it's already the cream of mushroom soup.
It's already, you know what they said? We're gonna add it. Oh wait, it's already there. We'll let it go for this recipe. These people lost their damn minds. I don't know, Desert Jack. I don't know. This is a vet approved book. What's next?
I want to take this to my vet and see what he says to me. And of course, you have tempting tofu.
Goodbye. I'm done. I am leaving. Heels. I just wanted to leave room for a minute.
What was his
The number one ingredient in tofu is soy.
Yeah.
In case you weren't aware.
And then 3 tablespoons of sunflower oil divided.
Oh, well, at least they got the sunflower oil. Had to make sure it's healthy.
2 cups kidney beans.
So we're gonna be ending the stream early tonight, guys. Have a great night. Love you all. What's the name of the book again, Horror?
Real food for dogs.
I need to see it. This shit it is. Oh my god. I think it's still on Amazon.
It's still in print. Oh god.
Oh my god. Real Food for Dogs book. I want it. Oh my god. Let me see. Homemade. God, it is for $12.95.
Did they check the recipes? I hope they revamped.
I need to go see 50 vet approved recipes. Arden Moore, you're a fucktard. I'm just letting you know this. I need to message Arden Moore. Oh my god, and they all have 5-star reviews. Oh no. Highly recommend. Oh, thank God. Half of these are from 2016, 2013. Okay, so shortly after these, reviews, hold on.
Huh.
Guiding Echoes with Nicole Antoinette. Real junk food for dogs. The title claims there are 50 vet-approved recipes here, which would lead one to believe the recipes are healthy, right? Wrong. I don't know a single vet that would recommend these recipes to any dog owner. I am a professional dog trainer who cooks for my own dogs. I am very concerned about their nutritional needs and have become familiar with what's good and what's not so good for dogs. This recipe is loaded with not so good recipes for your dog. As a once-in-a-while snack or treat, I suppose it's okay. No, Antoinette, stop it.
Most of this, there's like one or two I would maybe feed my dog occasionally, but no.
If that. Even then, I wouldn't feed my dog many of the recipes in this book. It's mostly junk food and recipes calls for items that aren't good for dogs, such as corn. Mind you, this was in 2011. This woman said this. I highly recommend the whole pet diet, 8 weeks to a great health. I'm going to look up these things. I'm going to screenshot this. I'm going to see if she's right too. Because, she's on old. Oh my God, this hurts. Cute, but not amazing. Thank God, at least some people. Oh no. Oh, did food book. Why did I buy this? I don't have a dog. Surprise, it's a gift. Shut up and pay for it. You got the money.
What?
That's what somebody left as a review.
Okay.
If your pups could talk, they'd say buy this.
If my pups could talk, they would say, "Why are you killing me, Mommy?
Mommy, why does my kidney hurt?"
Oh my God.
Like, it's just
12-ounce box elbow macaroni, 2 tablespoons margarine, 2 tablespoons whole wheat flour, 1 cup milk.
This is dog mac and cheese, isn't it?
8 ounces jack cheese. Grated.
You know how I recognize this recipe? Because that's what you make for fucking people. That's practically the human recipe.
Yeah, I just actually made macaroni cheese this weekend. It's almost exactly the recipe I used, minus the fact that I used cheddar and Havarti and bacon.
I'm sorry. Fucking what, Bublita?
Oh my God.
Did you see what Harold said?
Yes, yeah.
The next recipe is going to be a soy latte for dogs, then teaching him to protest the man.
Apparently, we can just claim something's vet approved, unfortunately. I am not seeing any names that any vets have put their on this book.
Vet approved. I don't trust the phrase vet approved.
Oh, no. Okay, hold on. I have names. So to Rebecca Ramillard, DVM, PhD, Lowell Ackerman, DVM, Mark W. Jackson, DVM, PhD, and your editor, Nancy Ringer. Fuck off.
Revoke every one of their licenses, like, immediately.
And their doctorates. Holy shit.
You know why? They're a doctorate in making money. If they tell you to feed your dog these, they're going to have patients for life.
Oh, yeah. 1 tablespoon vegetable oil. 4 large corn tortillas. A 1/3 cup brown sugar. And 1 teaspoon cinnamon. You're making your dog a lovely CC tortilla.
Arden Moore, I hope you lose every left sock. I hope you always stub your little toe. I hope the toilet seat is always ice cold and every poop pushes water back up into your butthole. I hope that the pillow is always on the hot side. I hope that whenever you go to drive anywhere, you get stuck in 2 hours of traffic. And I pray that every time you're half awake in the middle of the night, a Lego manifests itself under your foot.
Oh, this one's got 3 cloves of Girl, get it. Yeah, this is the beans and bacon stir fry under their special occasions meal. 3 strips of bacon, 1 16-ounce can of kidney beans, 3 peeled carrots, diced, 3 cloves of garlic, minced, 3 celery stalks, 3 teaspoons chopped fresh or 3 tablespoons dried parsley, 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar, and a pinch of black pepper.
I don't understand why that's a once in a while snack, since it's no different from the finger smacking green beans. It has less salt than that recipe did.
Mm-hmm.
Can we have that on a shirt? Which one? Because Starsa looks like she just woke up. I was great at the beginning of the stream. I don't feel good now. I don't feel okay. I need an adult.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I would swap out the margarine for butter, and I would probably actually do this for my dog once or twice.
Oh wait, Rachel, do you mean that little monologue that I went off on? Well, somebody clip it then. I'll put it on a shirt. If somebody clip that, and I will put that on a shirt. Because I don't remember what I said. I was angry.
I've done that. This is the birthday breakfast bonanza.
Oh boy.
1 tablespoon margarine, 3 eggs, 2 slices of ham diced, and 2 slices cheddar cheese. That's not so bad if you were to do that every now and then.
That's a once a year.
Yeah.
Just switch it lard and turkey, and you're great. The dog won't know the difference.
This is going to be fun.
Oh, God. And you know why I'm saying a sign of the cross? Because I'm hold on. Before you read this, before we get treated to just a bonanza, at least 200 assholes have bought this book. And most of them gave it
201.
Huh?
I bought it from the store, but 201 technically.
That's exactly how many people left reviews. 201. So I
should go on there and review this book.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Well, see, the thing is, you may have bought it, but you didn't leave reviews like these 201 assholes did. And most of them left 4 and 5 star reviews.
In fairness, I actually bought it at a bookstore. I might have even gotten it for free. I could have found it in somebody else's stuff and took it home.
Oh God, 2013. Informative on foods for your dogs. I do not feed my dog anything but homemade dog food and found this informative. You know what the worst thing is, guys? I would say these are all bots, but the problem is these comments existed before bots were a thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're just idiots. I had special diets.
All right. Puppy growth diet. 3 ounces ground beef. 1 cup rice. 3 ounces small curd cottage cheese.
Okay.
1 hard-boiled egg.
Okay.
1 diced carrot. Contents of a 500 milligram psyllium husk capsule. 1 teaspoon corn oil. And a 1,000 milligram calcium supplement crushed.
Now you're starting to tell people how to supplement the meals. You're not giving them a brand.
Nope.
You're not giving them actual. You're telling them sort of. Okay. The worst thing is that's not the worst. Out of all the recipes you've read me, that's the easiest to transfer into an okay treat once in a while. Or if you were gonna make your dog homemade food, that a cup of that sans a couple of recipes or a couple of ingredients along with kibble wouldn't be too bad. I will give that recipe credit. It seems a lot of the recipes they have that contain a large amount of ground meat and curds tend to not be too bad. You really shouldn't be giving your dog rice unless they truly need it, like they have a stomach issue. Maybe they ate something sharp and you need to feel like Greta, when she ate the razor, For about 4 days, all she ate was rice, oatmeal, and scrambled eggs and bread. She hated it. She doesn't eat any of it anymore now as a result. But I was terrified that the razor would come out without much around it. So
Yeah.
I force fed that dog a lot of shit she shouldn't really eat on a normal basis. But I was scared. Anyways, the next recipe.
Meal for active dogs.
Oh, God.
4 ounces lean ground beef. 2 cups white rice. 1 large carrot pureed in a blender. Contents of a 500 milligram Xylem Husk capsule. 1.5 teaspoons sunflower oil. 3 slices whole wheat bread. 1 750 milligram calcium supplement crushed.
And again, it's meal for an active dog, meat, Red Bull. Again, the problem I'm having here is, and we all know this, and I knew this back in 2001, different supplement brands have different levels of potency. So if you're going to Dollar Tree or you're going to Dollar General or Family Dollar and getting your capsules, it's far different than when you're going to GNC or you're going to even Target and getting your capsules. So on top of that, there are some that if you're just saying the capsules, most of those capsules are not graded for animals. So they don't even say do not give to animals, but they're human grade.
Which doesn't mean they're animal grade. Those are two very different things.
That's the first problem. And then the other problem is when you make suggestions like that, people are stupid. Unless you give direct, because Hara would have read it if it said it. There is no direct instruction saying if you can't find this, do not supplement with something else. These are people who probably went, oh, what could I put instead? And just did whatever that was. Or
I wonder how many dogs this book has killed.
I genuinely was wondering that. Because no one's come back and said anything, it doesn't look like. I haven't seen. But
I'm going to guess that a lot of people read it and thought, oh, well, that's funny. Maybe made 1 or 2 recipes and then threw it aside.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Want to hear about the meal for senior dogs?
So far, the special diets haven't been too bad.
It's really not that bad.
Now, listen, there's a lack of legumes and sugar, except the thing is, I was about to get that you reminded me. Whole wheat bread contains more sugar than regular bread. Go ahead.
6 ounces skinless chicken breast, which not terrible, unless you're got Grace as a dog and then you can't feed her chicken. But that's a different issue. 1.5 cups white rice. 1 sweet potato.
Okay.
2 tablespoons corn oil. 1 100 milligram calcium supplement crushed. And the liquid contents of a 100 IU vitamin E capsule.
It's I know maybe it's being nitpicky. I don't know if you agree that maybe I'm being nitpicky.
Oh no, you're right on.
It is the adding of the supplements that really bothers me, because people will start over supplementing, and this is the things that worry me, or they'll add more on. I know because I know what I'm doing, and I look up and I double check and I triple check before I do it, but that's because I do that and I know what I'm doing. So I know some douchebag is doing the same thing. And again, white rice should not be the main component of your dog's dish. It should not be more than the protein. 6 ounces of chicken is not very big.
No.
1.5 cups of rice is.
I will say they have a supplement alert here. Supplements should be added to your dog's diet only to compensate for a known nutrient deficiency as determined by blood test, trigger food intake during times when a dog is nursing a litter or performing hard work, optimize the amount of a certain nutrient to prevent disease or treat chronic conditions. Be careful, when it comes to supplement, the adage more is better does not apply. If you give your dog too much calcium, you can cause harm to joints and bones. Too much copper or zinc can be toxic to your dog. Always work with your veterinarian to determining which supplements and how much should be given to your dog to meet its special needs.
I'm so glad they at least put that in there. I genuinely like. But my thing is that all the way at the end of the book?
It's like 3 recipes in the special diet section.
That should be like at the beginning of the page.
Yeah.
Like, so the thing is, what I've noticed with a lot of recipe books is when there's a stipulation or a warning, usually it's at the introductory page. So it'll say desserts, and it'll say warning: certain recipes in here will contain raw eggs or have a higher content of this. If you have these dietary issues, do not use these recipes, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's buried on the 3rd recipe. Somebody might never get to that page.
No, especially if they have a puppy or an active dog. They're just going to do those 2 and not even read further in. They're not like me who goes through every single recipe just to see what's in there.
White rice is bleached, and well, it's not bleached technically. So there's natural white rices. That's the thing. Like it's not that, and there is nutritionally sound white rice. The problem is the white rice that is the cheapest to get, you are 100% correct, has no nutritional value. The more glutinous the rice is, like a lot of the rice that people get is not sticky.
Yep.
Is not very filling, and is very cheap. And you can taste that difference. The bleaching that Fake Queen is talking about, I could always tell when my dad used cheap rice because I would get sick. Like I would get an upset stomach, the taste would be bad in my mouth. Yeah, the thing is, Fake Queen, you gotta buy like the right brands of rice. Like you shouldn't be going for a lot of the main brands. Sadly enough, you gotta go for the brands that are smaller and more expensive. I always get the Nishiki rice. That is the rice that I use all the time. Nishiki brand is very good. They are a hybrid. They are out of California. And that's the only rice that I purchase. Also, do you guys want to cleanse? Look at Calliope looking all precious.
Aww.
Like, yeah, looking all cute.
I gotta run to the little squid room real quick.
Did the cat boxes inspire you?
Yes. I'll be right back.
And I no longer lose pea chicks. Yeah, a lot of calcium deficiency in chicks. It's Nishiki. I don't cook rice often. I will tell you that I often would cook rice, but I use get doggo. Orion, come here, bud. He's laying with Starman, so he might not get up. Come here, buddy. Orion. He's begrudgingly getting up. I can hear it. I know. Were you napping with Daddy? Hi, baby boy. Hi. Hold on. Axel decided he heard I was going to be giving. Hold on, Axel. Orion, come here. Come here, baby. Hey, come up here. You want the toy? You got to come show off. Say hi to everybody. You wait. Hold. Hold. Okay, take it, baby. Take it. Take it. It's a good boy. It's a good boy. You want this? I know. Whenever he gets a new scent, he clacks his teeth like that. Orion, do you want it? Stop scratching yourself and tell me. Tell me. Good boy. Point at it. Good job. Touch. Good job. Catch. Good boy. All right, go ahead. Go lay down. I know. That's a beautiful doggo. He is pretty. I hate him. Hate it so much. Do you want to come back up? Orion. Ever since he got this breakout, come here. Want to come back up? Come here. You know, shake, shake, shake. Your ear hurts when it hits my leg. Up. Hey. Come here. Up. There's a good boy. I know. I know. He's my handsome boy. Hold on. Let me turn the camera towards you. Everyone wants to see you. Everyone wants to see my beautiful boy. Don't you run just because you heard Greta. I know. Everyone wants to see you. Everyone wants to see the baby boy. All right, go ahead. Greta, come here, baby. Everyone wants to see you too. Come here. Hop. Come on. Hop. You're so small in comparison. Yeah, Greta's 50 pounds. So when everybody's like, "Are you sure he's 110?" Yes, I'm positive. Greta, look at all the white we're getting on that little muzzle of hers. She's gonna be 8 years old in June. Oh, not June. April. April 5th. Oh, you're a good girl. You can clearly see the personality difference. She's like a baby. Oh, you're a good girl. She's the softest squeal. Little baby. Yeah. That's the good shit. This is her favorite way to get pet. I don't know why. Often what we will do, or what especially used to do before Orion hit the scene, was she would get up and she would press her nose square here, and I would rub her like this. Or we sit. Hey, Greta, you want to show? You want to come up? You want to come up? Okay. Come on. There we go. Like this. We sit like this a lot. Let me see if I can turn the camera. I know, Mommy moved her head. There you go. Yeah. You can see why Starman says she's a mama's girl. She has been my little baby from the day I took her home. Yeah, my good girl. Your mama's good girl. She's turning because Orion is right up her ass right now, sniffing. Want to go lay back down with Daddy? Go ahead. Go lay with Daddy. Yes, you can get kisses. There you go. He got jealous, mind you. He was up there earlier, but toy. He got jealous. So when it comes to Greta and I used to cuddle all the time. We used to, she hugs. She loves to hug. Whenever she's jumping up, she's trying to put her arms and paws on my shoulders so she can hug me. The problem is she's got very sharp little dew claws, so she will pull in. That fucking hurts. But, oh yeah. Greta is definitely like best girl. Orion actually ruined a lot of her good training because he's so bad and he was not well behaved for a long time no matter what I did. We could not bring him out in public. And you missed it. I don't know if you were watching.
I saw Greta, yeah.
I was showing. She seems to have the temperament of my dog, Aveline. I still haven't gotten the chance to take a picture of the birds perching on her, sleeping out.
Aww. Yeah, my dogs wouldn't let that happen.
Hold on, bud. I know. And Axel loves Blistex.
Is that okay for him to have?
He eats it either way. So I let him get the remnants of what's on my finger. The way we found out that Axel likes menthol, we had just gotten him. And it was January, and I got really sick. Like, really sick. And Starman had gone out and gotten me a humidifier. And on this humidifier, there's a little reservoir where you can pour menthol oil. And it diffuses it throughout the house. And we had Axel, quarantined to my bedroom. Because that was a standard. Whenever we got a new cat, we quarantined into the bedroom. But lately, it's been mostly kittens. So we keep them quarantined in a crate, right? And we woke up, and Axel was foaming at the mouth. Like, huge drool things just coming out of his mouth. He was on, couldn't figure out what was wrong. And then I rolled over in bed and I looked down. This motherfucker was nose deep in the menthol oil and was eating it.
Oh.
So we could no longer use the menthol oil for the diffuser, which really sucks for me because it really did help.
Yeah.
With my issues.
It's really good for congestion.
Yeah. Something I've developed really bad since I moved down here. Oh, how cute is he, though? It's disgusting. You're disgusting, sir.
Hi, baby.
Greta has a great temperament. She's just extremely needy, like really needy. And that's one of the reasons why we had to get Orion, because Greta, we would play like hard. We gave her all the attention. Did not matter. We could have just taken her to the park, played for 2 hours at the dog park. We could have given her treats. We could have given her playtime at home. If we sat for more than 15 minutes, she would get up and start whining.
Aww.
She's desperate for more attention. And that is one thing I have not had in a long time since I got Orion. She doesn't do that anymore. Because Orion is so desperate for attention that anytime Greta gets any, he's right there.
Yeah, I won't be cooking in this cookbook, will I, Gracie?
Oh my god. I don't understand who or why.
Do you want to know the great part?
Yes.
Hold on. It's in here.
I'm ready.
Oh, no. It's not in here. It's right here.
What? Is that a cat cookbook?
Real food for cats. They made a cat version.
Please hold. Please hold.
I'm trying to. She's being slick.
Let's see.
You're so cute, baby.
Oh god. Oh, this one's cheaper. It's only $8.99. Let's see. 54 purchases. This was in 2013. It has different recipes for both cats. Pretty easy to make. Pets should love this one. An interesting read. Cats require a different diet than dogs. They
You
actually
think?
have more protein in their diet than dogs do. No shit. Okay. So, Dangerous Recipes by a verified purchaser, Jen. She wrote this in 2007. Okay. This is her original review. I am so disappointed. Continuing to sell and publish this book is irresponsible. As 2 recent reviews have noted, the recipes are full of onions.
What? For cats?
These recipes are full of onions and occasionally garlic, both toxic to cats. One other review wrote that the onions were confined to the people food section of the book, but this is not true. There are onions everywhere. I agree this book cannot possibly be vet approved, and I intend to do some research into the guy, a vet, who wrote the preface. His Latin is fake, and so to my great disappointment is the potential security and well-being proffered from these recipes. I'm going to return the book. Even if one leaves the garlic out, can one really trust the author's nutritional advice is sound? With great disappointment, I recommend that you stay far away from this book, even though the illustrations are charming. Update. I wrote the publisher and was informed there are 2 editions of this book. The second edition has eliminated the onions from the recipes intended for cats. The bookstore, which had supplied the book via Amazon, promptly sent me a copy of the second edition. The recipes, as they are now, are apparently fine, though I would recommend checking with your vet before you bake.
Yeah, a lot of these are definitely baked foods.
This one is from 2018. I was horrified to see the number of recipes in here recommending adding garlic to the cat meals. This is a big no-no, as garlic is 5 times more concentrated in onions, which is a highly dangerous and toxic to cats. think I might need to buy this book, but I don't want to.
Don't do it. Don't give them money.
I want to see how bad it is.
We
Oh,
already have a good judge of how bad it probably is. We just read the dog book.
I can buy it used for $1.
Oh, then it might be worth it.
And $3.98 delivery. Well, fuck you.
$5 at that point.
Yeah. I can't. You understand who would write these books? I have an answer. Proto
Karen.
Wait. Proto Karen's right.
This was pre-Karen.
That's true. Oh my god. I'm about to use the word. Guys, I'm triggered. I am genuinely triggered. I am going to make a short about these fucking books. And I think I'm going to clip that little diatribe. I think Rachel is right. That's a new shirt.
Yep.
Oh, that's so infuriating. It's literally like they just went and found tame human recipes. Is it good enough? Like, I still can't get over the lip smacking green beans. I can't get over them. You know, the worst thing is, it sounds like it's kind of tasty for us.
Yeah.
Well, the Worcestershire, I like salt.
I like Worcestershire. It sounds kind of close to green bean casserole, and I don't like green bean casserole.
I love green bean casserole. I love it so much. I went to Costco. Guys, they have bags like the size of potato chip bags of fried onions, the little fried onion strings. I got a little excited. I didn't buy it, but I wanted it. Okay. I will say this, Costco. So the way people talked up Costco, right? I expected it to be a better version of freaking shut up. Penny won't shut up tonight. Mind you, she had a full bowl of food, she had full water, she just needy as fuck tonight. I expect them to be a better version of BJ's. They're not. BJ's actually labels their aisles. Costco throws you out into it and says guess. And they have less consistency and surprisingly less options.
Really?
Like they have a lot of they have a lot of aisles of the same stuff in bulk. But it didn't seem like the variety that BJ's has.
Huh.
I got an offer to get a BJ's membership for $25 for the year, and I think I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go peruse through BJ's again and just see if I'm crazy. It just
you probably are, but it's unrelated.
How dare you?
Tell that to my dog's nipples.
I know, right? Large protruding nipples. Which thankfully are not masking a puppy.
Nope, there's no milk production going on here.
Also, my Facebook group, the dog one, guys. Apparently, some people are finally realizing that inbreeding is not exactly swank. Was nice to see. And what I thought was really, really hilarious is there was this post about inbreeding. See, okay, you can't see my name on it. We're going to save this picture. Save image as. Or not. I'm trying here. Oh, there we go. Save. Save. I'm going to show you guys. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to look at the comments. Then I'm going to read them to you while I send these pictures. This dog's family tree is a single stump.
Oh, God.
Like, there is nothing in this dog's family tree except for,
I could actually show them your family tree.
like, father, uncles, sister, moms. For some reason, it's not letting me. Where did I save it to? Am I a fucking idiot?
Did you check your downloads?
Yeah, it's not in my downloads. Even though it just showed up in my downloads. See, I'm normally I save these on my phone.
Tickle your dummy.
I see why it did not save to there at all.
Uh-huh.
It's saved to a completely different place. It's saved to one of my YouTube things. I don't know why. There we go. And now I can share these to you.
Hold on, Gracie.
All right, Axel, you gotta get down, buddy. Come on. Good boy. Okay.
I'm just moving back a bit.
So, if your family tree doesn't fork, you might be a redneck. You understand? Oh, wait, this was the what they already said. So this is the family tree of these dogs. And if I'm correct, one of these dogs is named Trainwreck. And I just found that absolutely hilarious. But I don't see it on here, so it's in the Bodaroo. All of these are from the same, like, direct lineage. See, Bodaroo Dagger and Little Dagger. Bodaroo Bump. Spade, like, all these are all from the same direct family. Every Bodaroo you're seeing. This is some Alabama shit around here. And I do not understand how they got away with it. Let's see. What did the other pictures say? I don't know if Horror can see it. Repeat breeding. Ringo to his daughter Pepsi, who is also his half-sister. Off Ringo to his mother, Shepherd Annie. Hopefully this time she takes. Those who know that breeding produced some high-quality dogs, such as Trainwreck and several other good ones. And my hope of hopes, despite the fact that the OP said it's a real person, I kind of hope that it's somehow fake.
Oh, God.
Did you hear what I read?
No, I stepped away because I thought for sure I could put my hands right on Grace's family tree, but I can't.
Oh, well, let me read this to you. Repeat breeding. Ringo to his daughter Pepsi, who is also his half-sister, off Ringo to his mother Shepherd Annie. Hopefully this time she takes. Those who know that this breeding produces some high-quality dogs, such as Trainwreck and several other good ones. They literally named their dog Trainwreck. The white that you're looking at, that is the well, these are the generations. Okay. So Ringo produced Shepherd Annie, and then reproduced with Shepherd Annie. And then Shepherd Annie reproduced one of her kids. And then reproduced with
No, I'm looking.
It's a saying there is no branches in this family tree. Forget train wreck. I'm stuck on Pepsi. Like, I want you to think about this, guys, okay? So just look for Shepherd Annie, okay? So Shepherd Annie is the mother of Dagger. Shepherd Annie.
I mean, here's the issue is Ringo is the father of Shepherd Annie.
Yep.
And then Ringo.
Father of Pepsi too.
Father, honestly. Then Ringo is. Okay, so Dagger must be.
Little Dagger is the pup of Dagger, as far as I'm aware.
Okay, so Dagger must be not related to Annie?
I think she produced Little Dagger as well. No, because see, look. So, see, I can't. It's a little hard to follow.
Well, it reads left to right. So we're looking at what's supposed to be
right.
The original two.
Oh, let me reshare it so we can all.
I really wish I could find Grace's thing. All of us. I'm gonna step away again and look again because it's got to be right over there.
Okay, so we're looking at, because the way this should break down is that Ringo made Little Dagger and Shepherd Annie, but now I'm not so sure because Shepherd Annie shows up twice on the second generation. The only thing I know is Pepsi and Ringo made Shepherd Annie? No, because then in this picture, to his daughter Pepsi, who is his half-sister off Ringo, to his mother Shepherd Annie. So Pepsi is his half-sister. Okay. Like, again, there's so much inbreeding, we can't keep track of who's inbreeding with who.
Oh, well, this is really irritating because I can put my hands right on their certificates. Their
So Shepherd Annie is Ringo's mom.
Okay.
Okay, and Pepsi is Ringo's daughter.
Okay,
but
so then
Pepsi is also Ringo's half sister.
All right, so then it's actually right to left is what's going on here. I got it. Okay, so then these are the great grandparents over here on the right.
Over here?
And yes. And then these are the dogs that came out of those mixes on the left. And then those are the dogs that came out of those mixes on the left. And then those are the current mixes on the left. So what we got here is, let's see here.
It's an Alabama family tree, I told you.
Oh, very much.
Because look at how many times Dagger shows up.
Well, this is Bordeaux Little Dagger, who has Bordeaux Little Dagger, but then Boone's Spade and Banks Red Lady created Shepherd Annie. So Ringo is not Shepherd Annie's mother or father.
No, Shepherd Annie is Ringo's mom.
Right.
And Pepsi's mom.
Right.
So Shepherd Annie, when she gave birth to Ringo, they then bred her right afterwards and created Pepsi. And
Right.
now they're breeding Pepsi and Ringo.
Right. But that's after breeding Annie to Spade. Or to
And
Dagger.
Little Dagger. God.
And then, okay. So apparently they really like Spade and Red Lady together because they've got that together before Shepherd. What?
So
Oh,
Bandit
that's why.
Chip
That's why
made
that's there because
Dagger,
they're doing okay.
Flop
I
and
understand.
Nat made Bump. But the thing is, these are all
Bordeaux.
Bordeaux. So, and they have asterisks. So I'm assuming these are all from the.
These are other breeders that they but so that's where they bought that dog. So
That's what I
that's
was trying to
Bordeaux's
figure out.
Bandit, Bordeaux's Chip, Bordeaux's Flop, Bordeaux's Nat. Then you have White Oak Bitters Sharp, Center's Hondo.
OTC Jade.
So yeah, these are all the dogs they bought originally. These are dogs they got from somebody else.
All right, so up here, so ready? They bred Dagger and Bump twice. So
Right.
let's see. So Dagger and Bump came out of. So this is where they weren't inbred, we think, because we don't know how closely related all. Bandit, Chip,
Yeah.
Flop, and Nat, they all kind of sound like they probably came from the same litter, which is really nasty.
Well, they probably came from the same breeder. It's like so all of my dogs. If
Right.
you were to buy one of my dogs, they're initially named after movie stars.
So we've got Dagger and Bump. Dagger and Bump made puppies here as well. So Dagger and Bump made Little Dagger, and
Boone Spade
then
and
they
Red Lady
made-
made Shepherd Annie.
right.
So you're seeing some of these dogs on here twice because of how they're reusing the dogs. So Little Dagger and Annie may not be related. We don't know about that for sure, just because we're not sure where Boone and Spade came from. Oh no, so they're not related because Boone
the
came
blue
from
their dogs.
Huh?
I feel like the blue is their dogs, like originally theirs.
Well, they're their dogs that I think no. There has to have some other because Boone and Spade came from White Oak's Bitters, Sharp and Biter. Or well, Spade came from Sharp and Biter, and Red Lady came from Hondo and Jade.
Boone, Spade, and Banks Red Lady, they're over here again.
Yeah,
And
because
then Boone,
those.
Spade, so 1, 2, 3.
Wow, this is a. I understand what they're doing here.
Yeah, inbreeding.
Vaguely. Well, no, they're definitely doing that, but I'm pretty sure they're also inbred because of the way they did this chart. Because you'll see here, you have Shepherd Annie here and here, and so then they repeated the dogs here in here to track the. So this actually goes kind of, and
Good boy, Axel. That's the right way to do it. Okay, so most of this we can forget about then. This first,
this first row is basically theirs or the dogs they bought to start.
Right.
Except for right here where they have Boone and Spade to create Shepherd Annie.
Right. And my thing is they technically made this chart incorrect.
Oh, they definitely did.
This is fourth generation. This is first generation. Yeah.
Yeah, they have it labeled backwards for one.
Yep.
I really wish I could find because Grace's charted. It's actually really very nice. It actually starts at the center with her parents and then branches off into their various breedings.
Right.
Outward, which is what you're supposed to do.
So we know that Boone Spade and Banks Red Lady produced Shepherd Annie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we also know that.
So they must have bought Bordeaux and their dog and the puppy.
Dagger and Bump produced Little Dagger. Mm-hmm. I'm feeling a brain tumor developing in my head with this fucking investigation. I know. This is so fucking stupid.
And then they used Bordeaux and Annie to create Ringo, and Ringo and Annie to create Pepsi. Yep. And now they're breeding Pepsi to Ringo.
Like at least back in the fourth, there was look at This is what these people who own these dogs, now that they have control, all 4 of these dogs are in their possession as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
From
that
what I
would be
get, this is
correct.
definitively their dogs. I don't
So,
know if all these are their
okay,
dogs. These
there's a
are
good chance here on this end, on the 4th generation,
yeah,
that they didn't buy the dog, they just paid for the breeding.
right. Or they just paid for the pup itself.
Yeah.
Because the
Well,
only
I
ones I
wouldn't
know they probably have are Boone and Banks.
right.
I feel like
And
that's their dogs.
it's interesting because if they're renting, I mean, if the only ones that are theirs are the ones in blue, that can't be right though, because they bred 2 of their dogs together and got Shepherd Annie. So that should technically be in blue because that should be their dog.
Unless they sold her, but they still want to use her.
Yeah, you
as
can
their-
get breeders' rights.
So if they sold her with breeders' rights, that would make sense. But they've
Though
already gotten how many?
I can't imagine what kind of person would allow their dog to be bred back to one of its direct relatives.
I hear.
Or one of
Here's
its
what I will
children.
tell you. This is why the group does not like me. They talk about it like it's a totally fine thing to do all the time. Oh well, a grandparent with a grandchild's fine. Oh, a father and daughter, as long as it's just no. If you're gonna do relatives, you have to do like third cousin. You've got to at least just be Arkansas. You don't go full Alabama. You might be Kentucky. We're talking like it's your aunt twice removed kind of situation. These people are just
No, Metastep,
genuinely
that is not how they make purebreds.
well, not in your case, but most purebreds I know, it's sadly.
Okay, that's not how you're supposed to do it. A purebred has nothing to do with being with being bred back into its own family. It has to do with the way the breeding comes out.
The problem with it is that people who breed working class dogs actually care about the health of the dog and will actually mix in other breeds as need be to
On
keep the
occasion,
line.
yeah.
Yeah, on occasion. That's why Hara is getting angry, because the problem is, and this is where I don't think you realize it, Hara, you're talking about something completely different.
I know.
Most people that are going and getting these dogs, whether it's a puppy mill dog or whatever, if you have gone and bought a dog from a breeder, I'm sorry to everyone out there, but unless you got a working class dog or you really researched it, you got a dog that's probably like this. Because most purebred dogs, AKC certified dogs, are like this. And
I can say I'm very glad that I have it around here somewhere. I have both Grace's and Rudy's parentage in a family tree. They are in no way related. I don't think any of their family even came from the same kennel. So
oh my god. And this is what Professor Savage said. And again, right. Wasn't there zero risk second cousins? I second cousins are not zero risk. Third cousins are zero risk. There's always going to be some kind of risk when you're that close to your genetic tree. I
wouldn't necessarily say third cousins are zero risk. It's just not as much risk.
Right. And the thing is, it's like, again, we had this conversation, 2 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why nature avoids inbreeding. There's a reason why when it comes to most herd and animal structures, they kick out their children. It's why a lot of zebras and herd animals will literally get vicious with their babies.
Right.
Like, that's just very natural. And in animals like elephants and orcas and everything like that, you don't see inbreeding. They just don't do that kind of thing. It'd be interesting to have a corgi with a tail. Corgis with tails are really cute.
They are cute.
Grandma
I was just double checking to check why they normally dock the tails, and it's because they're cattle dogs.
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to
keep them
grab
from
them
being
up.
stepped on.
It's several, yeah, because their legs are so short. But everything I've been taught about docking tails is because, and Orion has it. You can see it. He actually has, apparently on more wild bred dogs, there's a scent gland. He's gonna be so pissed at me. Orion, come here, baby. He's laying with my husband, so he's very annoyed right now. Come here, bud. Let's see if I can show you guys. Hey, baby. Right. I need to see your butt. I gotta show the butt. I don't know if you guys can see it. Right there, there's a mark on his tail. Right. And that's generally where they would have docked him.
Yep.
And I know that there's a scent gland on wolves there. And Orion always gets a little irritated in that spot. His skin gets drier there. Thank you. Good boy. Notice as soon as I was done with him, he's like, okay, I'm going back to bed. They're gonna go in their crate as soon as I'm done with all this, but right now they're enjoying sleeping with daddy. Whatchamacallit it though. In a dog like Orion, when I have to hold him back, I very much grab the base of his tail. Most working class muscular dogs, you can do that. Don't grab the end of their tail. You grab the base of the tail because that has a lot of muscle on it. Like Orion's tail is very muscular. And I can take it and yank him back, no problem.
If I could count the number of times I've grabbed Grace by her tail and yanked her back.
Usually while she's trying to get a man. But it's and you know, so that's one of the benefits. But like also Hara was saying, and this is an argument we had earlier in the day on the group as well. And some people don't like that I say this, and some people do. There is literally no fucking reason to dock and crop unless your dog is working class. And people are like, oh, well, breed standard. Motherfucker, 90% of you will never show your dog. And you're never going to breed it. If you get one litter out of it, it's because your dog got out and mated with the fucker down the street. Not because you went and paid all the fucking rights and royals for it. Almost nobody actually does it. They just say they want. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, and then they try to sit there and say, oh, well, it prevents infections. Actually, they have proven that the ears being covered is better preventing infections than the ears being open and wide. So unless your dog is running the risk of getting hit by a stray hoof or a stray horn or getting bitten by another animal because they are a working class dog, for fuck's sake, just leave their ears and tails alone.
Yep.
I'm not sure how much it costs to have all the puppies docked. It can be expensive.
It's actually not too bad. It's just like getting the dew claws removed is pretty cheap. I mean, it's literally they just take a little pair of clippers and go.
You know, they actually show that taking off dew claws can actually be really bad for a dog. Now that they're showing like it's a balance issue.
Yeah, I don't have it done. So, but I mean,
dew claws certainly fuck, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but yeah. It's not as bad as you would necessarily think, but at the same time, there's no reason to do it unless you're, like she said, unless your dog's working or unless you are actually showing your dog. In which case,
but I don't believe in half that shit anymore because they breed these dogs to like look good on the show floor, but they're not healthy dogs.
What they've done to German Shepherds is an absolute travesty.
That was literally what was in my head. You know that?
Yeah, a German Shepherd should not have a back that's like a freaking ramp. It should be a nice straight back. That's actually what I loved about my German Shepherd is she did not have that. That's horrible for their hips. It's horrible for their health. It is not good. The fact that people think it looks good is retarded.
Because it looks really cool in a photo because it looks like they're about to lunge off to, and they're standing proud into attention. And it looks great for a photo, but imagine standing in Superman pose all day long. Imagine standing in superhero landing all day long. That's exactly the same idea. Sure, it looks cool in that moment, but they're breeding these animals to look that way. And that's why I love that video where it shows when a pug walks up to the dog. And it's like, I love pugs. And if Michelle, you ever watch this, I'm sorry, but they are abominations.
They are.
It's I would have no problem if somebody bred them to have longer muzzles.
And to have more eye, because they have problems with serious problems with their eyes. They can actually pop out.
Yeah, but if their muzzles get long enough, it fixes that itself because the problem is some pugs, their mouths are further back than their eye sockets. which is how it creates that problem. But if you extend the muzzle, no matter what, you're going to have more bone tissue down here. And then that is going to create better eye sockets. Oh,
Mhm.
you're not going to be as cute. Shut the fuck
How
up.
is it not? How is a dog with breathing problems cute? Explain that to me.
That's what you want?
You want a
Like,
dog that can't breathe and sound. I mean, my Yorkshire Terrier has. I swear she probably has some kind of sinus issue, but she's adorable and she's sweet. And the only problem she really has is that you can hear her breathing sometimes, and she makes some of the funniest goddamn sounds.
talking about fashion for dogs, supermodels aren't the healthiest of folk. So how do they expect dogs to be right? But here's the worst part of it, says Patu. Here's the worst part of it. At least with the fashion model, those models chose that.
Yeah.
And all they got to do is get on a proper diet and get themselves into a better headspace, and they can be healthy again. When you do this to a dog, look up, I have shown it in the past. You guys want to know what a genetic disaster is? I'm going to show you. Apparently, I'm on caps lock. I'm going to show you one of the most absolute, I don't even know what word it is. It is inhumane. These are inhumane. That is a real dog. That's not a drawing. That is not AI. That is not a cartoon. And look, I didn't even look at the title. Bred to Extremes, examining the ethical quandary of exotic bullies.
Why would you want it? Can that dog even lift its ass off the ground?
No, it cannot. That dog cannot naturally sit fully. That dog cannot turn its head. And if you notice, its body isn't balanced properly. Look, I want you to imagine that's how you have to walk, with your chest dragging the ground. These dogs, notice how none of them look like they have an easy time breathing? They all look, because they're all hydrocephalic. They all, like, tell me it doesn't, and someone's gonna cancel me for this. Tell me this isn't like just a montage of Down syndrome. Like, seriously.
Or yeah, like Patu says, a midget that took too much roids.
Right.
Yeah, poor baby.
Like, these are animals, and this is my problem, because I don't disagree with the whole comparison of fashion model. However, a fashion model made that choice, whereas a person decided this looked cool. Look at this. So if anyone ever wonders
what's cool about that,
there's nothing cool about this. I want to hug them out of sadness, right? And that is why I will say to you, cancel me, I don't give a fuck. It's why I don't believe in purebred dogs. It is. I will commend people like Horror all day long, because Horror is a very ethical breeder, and she is a person, like, she does not want them bred often. She's like, I think you're like, what, a once every other year kind of litter person?
At least once a year at most.
At most. And it's just like
7 litters throughout the lifetime would be the absolute most for a dog as well. So.
And then for a fact that other guy we were looking at is not the way.
No.
Like, I'm shocked this dog could get that much air. I'm shocked. Do these look like animals that are comfortable?
I mean, how would you feel if someone freaking bred you to look like that?
Like, what if you lived your whole life, you're in pain, you have joint pain, back pain, breathing issues, you can't digest properly, you can't move properly, you're constantly feeling uncomfortable, and you never understood why. Look, his toes can't even point downward. Okay? Her toes, forgive me.
They're so spaced out.
So I want you to think about it. Imagine having all these problems. Montage of Down. Don't you mean Twitter and Reddit? Yes. And I want you to imagine, then you find out one day that, hold on, hold on. Let me show you. You find out one day you're supposed to look like this. You're supposed to have a neck. You're supposed to have legs. You're supposed to be able to move and jump around and not be a singer.
Please don't be a singer.
You're supposed to have proportions. And then you find out the only reason that you are in constant pain and unable to live a normal life is because someone thought it would look cooler if you were deformed. Because pit bulls and American bullies are where exotics come from.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I love her. I know she passed away, I
That
believe.
face.
I think she passed away.
Aw.
She was one of like the first pit bulls online. I just love her face. Like, it bothers me greatly. It just does. It bothers me greatly. Dude, that's a good looking muzzle.
Vincent, or Alex.
See, and then you got bulldog versus pit bull, and you can see there's a difference.
There's very much a difference.
Yeah, big girl.
She's looks like she either just had puppies or she's been overbred.
Probably just had puppies because she's a very healthy looking dog. Well, except for those eyes.
Yeah. But yeah, you can see the extra tissue, the way her nipples are hanging down.
But well, that's the saying. Like they look So the only reason why I'm saying she just got bred is because typically, if they're overbreeding, these don't look that sharp. They look very square and saggy and brown.
Oh, that's what. I mean, I think she literally just probably finished nursing puppies, right? Because that's an empty mammary gland.
Yeah, so I'm thinking she just got through nursing. He's a beautiful dog.
Yeah.
But, again, this is what I'm saying. Like, if you wonder why, yes, 100%. 100%. These dogs suffer so much abuse. And they suffer abuse at the hands of just improper breeding. And people wanting these animals to look a certain way, regardless of if it was good for the animals. And they have just like, think back to National Lampoon Christmas Vacation. It was a joke, but snot. The way the dog was depicted in the film is very indicative of, sadly, most Rottweilers. I don't know if I've ever met a Rottweiler that isn't going... I've never met a Rottweiler that just can keep its mouth shut. Like, Orion, the only reason he gets really excited is, like, usually when I call his name. And because he's get easily excited. You guys saw when he walked in here, he wasn't heavy breathing. He could not wait to go back to bed. And, so it's like...
I want to say I house sat for one of my mom's friends, and I don't recall her Rottweiler being a heavy breather. Now, he would, if you sat down and pet him, growl like he was going to take your arm off, but that's just because he enjoyed what you were doing.
Right.
But he wasn't much of a breather.
Then she must have gotten a healthy one. I'm talking about my experience. I will say that I didn't know too many dog people. Like, that's the other problem that I've had. I was always a cat person, and as a result, it was easy for me to find cat people because I will say this. I feel like when it comes to rescue, cats got the better end of the stick first. Cats got rescued sooner. Cats got concerned sooner. People assume because everyone already liked dogs didn't have to be looked at. So dogs were easier to demonize, like, and ban and things like that. You never hear a cat breed ban. I mean, we have fucking whole ass wild hybrids and they're not banned. And so when it comes to dogs had bans quicker. A lot of more dogs didn't get rescued as quickly. And you have whole entire breeding operations dedicated to this. And dogs are easier to breed than cats. Cats are not easy to breed. Cats very much will choose what they're going to do. And no matter how horny a female is, she might reject a male. Or try to kill him. Our girl didn't have breathing issues. Our girl didn't have breathing. The heart defect issues took her. Yeah, and as I was saying, like, if it's not breathing, it's cardiovascular.
Or hips, because the
Yes.
the dog my friend had had to have hip surgery.
And I get worried all the time about Ryan. Because he's such a big dog, and because I did get him fixed early due to potential aggression, I do worry about his hips. Honestly, a cat without fur should still not be a thing. Right. It is a genetic defect, and it can naturally happen sometimes, but there's a reason why sphinxes, while sweet cats, have more anxiety, have more skin issues, have more prone to violence, more prone to blindness, more prone to a bunch of different things, because these animals are full of anxiety because part of their protection is gone. And they don't know how to cope with it. Oh, when they get such acne and they get dirtier quicker and they can't, it's a whole thing. And so, it's like the Lukoi. I think, have I showed you guys the Lukoi before?
Sounds familiar, but go ahead and show us again. Why not?
I'll get it up. Oh, likewise. Sorry, I said it wrong. It is also going on 2 a.m. for me, so. This is a breed that is very, very new. This is a cat that was bred to look
that one.
like a werewolf. They have so many problems.
It's not. Why?
I mean, is it a cool looking cat? Yes, it looks like a werewolf.
I don't think
I will
so.
say this particular one looks very cool.
I think it looks like it's suffering and is mangy and shouldn't be a thing.
But that's the problem exactly there. It does have suffering issues. And it has problems. It has skin issues because the thing is, it has a soft and wiry fur.
And that's going to be a fuck to groom.
It's ridiculous. And a lot of them have been dumped.
I'm sure.
Like, there seems to be a big issue with these particular cats getting dumped. And the thing is, I've not heard any negative. I'm trying to go to the. Oh, there we go. If you go to the kitten mill route, you can expect to pay anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500. The problem with buying a kitten mill is that they aren't very ethical. So now they're pretty much saying that mills are just an option, which I really hate. Let me see. Let's see what their personality is like. Friendly and outgoing, they'll reserve with strangers.
So they're a cat. Okay.
Okay, so I like that, by the way. As a result of Gobble's careful breeding practices, Lycoid cats are considered generally healthy with an average lifespan of 12 to 15 years. However, their unique fur makes them prone to few health conditions, and they can still be affected by many health conditions other domestic cats face. Well, no shit. She is screaming at me. I might have to go check soon. Lymphocytic neural folliculitis. That sounds like this.
Folliculitis.
I can't say that word. It's too late in the day.
Lymphocytic neural folliculitis. Yeah.
Oh, that means swollen lymph nodes, scaly, crusty skin on their head, neck, and belly. They may have sores on their lips and eyelids. This is the very first thing that they can have. Oh, that sounds painful. And they develop a lot of dental issues. As I can tell you, one of the things that jettisoned Zorro to passing away was dental issues. That's not something you want your cat to have. And they're not cheap to take care of. That's like $1,000 bill just to get the cat's teeth cleaned. And maybe
you don't want to get your animals cleaned. And there's so many problems that can crop up because it's not like they can keep them awake and clean them. They usually have to sedate them to clean them.
Yep.
So it's bad for them in that regard because being put under and brought back repeatedly is just not good for their system.
So Bengals are a wild hybrid.
Yeah.
Okay. Maine Coons are not. Maine Coons are
they're an older breed, aren't they?
They're an older breed. Let me go see what this cat wants.
The cat just won't leave her alone.
She won't. When she screams like this, she like is desperately wanting something, and I'm her bitch. So.
But yeah, Bengals are a wild cat mixture, and they're pretty. But at the same time, if I can drive down my street and I see a giant, let's say a semi-truck trailer with a sign on the side that says Bengal cats, then there might be a problem. Because you should not be buying your cat from a tractor trailer or a truck trailer on the side of the road. A lot of these cats, well, a lot of these newer cats, you see the picture for the Savannah cat there as well. The designer breed type thing that takes over dogs is the same thing that happens in cats and can definitely be an issue. With people overbreeding, and honestly, cats are harder to deal with in that regard. Let's see here. Hybrid in the early 1900s. Yeah. Domestic felines with an Asian leopard cat. At least it's not a newer. There's no such thing as a free cat, Harold. Just because you didn't pay for it doesn't mean it's not expensive. But yes, the government doesn't want you to know that all those cats outside are free and you can take them home. Just make sure it doesn't have a collar on. I actually had a black cat that we bought from a pet store, and they didn't tell us the breed. He was just a black cat. And we're pretty sure he was a Maine Coon. That sucker got up to about 36 pounds. And when I say 36 pounds, I don't mean he was a fat cat. I mean that cat was all muscle. And he was huge. He was also a ginormous asshole.
Yeah, Maine Coons can be really big dicks.
Oh, so this cat, if you forget to feed him, he would run up the back of someone's legs and bite them on the ass.
Yeah. Yeah, how old was he when he was doing this, or his whole life?
That was his whole life.
Yeah.
If I sat on the floor,
when he wants food.
If I sat on the floor, he'd run up my back and he'd wrap his paws around my head and bite me on the back of my head, just for no reason, just because.
Bengals aren't as bad as Savannahs because they're more removed from their genetic lineage now because they've been around a long time.
Yeah, I was looking at one of the links down there. It says that it was actually created in the early 1900s. So they're of the last 200 years or so, but at least they've got something going on there that's a little...
Savannahs, not so much, sadly. Savannahs are a relatively new breed. I think they're from the last 25 years. And even then, we're talking like you can still find G1s. Mm. And I mean, if you're looking at this animal, does this look like an animal that you can just take home? This is not an everyday cat.
No, that's a cat that's going to take a lot of work.
And my biggest issue is a lot of people that get Savannahs. Oh, just a little side note. We believe Zorro might have been part Abyssinian. Just from his shape and overall actions. And because there were a couple of Abyssinian breeders in my area. We always thought that one of the reasons... Oh, Toigers are really cute too. I don't believe they're wild... they don't have a wild...
component,
but they are really cute.
Domesticated tabbies. Yeah, it looks like it's just a tabby breed.
Just a tabby.
Or tabby. Because actually, if you scroll down just a little bit, I can almost read that part that says it. Nope, back up a little. right here
Yeah,
on the side about short-haired tabbies to make them resemble a toy tiger. So yeah, it's just a tabby breeding program.
right. But again, they're probably severely inbred as a result.
That's a good probability, yes.
Because if you are breeding purely for a look,
Then there's going to be a lot of inbreeding going on.
I will say with the Lycoi, the man was developing the breed not over 5 years like some people do. He was developing it over, I think, like 30 years. Like, it took him a long time. And he did, I will grant him credit where credit is due. He did try very hard to not have a similar issue like dogs have.
I will say the Beaver Terrier, my dogs are still a newer breed. They were developed in much the same way, where the breeder seemed to have taken a lot of time and thought in breeding the dogs, because it's not just a couple dog breeds or a dog breed with some specific attempt to pick certain characteristics. It's a combination of a number of dog breeds. Yorkshire Terrier, Shih Tzu. I mean, a few different breeds were worked in to get the look the way they are now.
It's been, ow, Nova, that kind of hurt, kid.
Ragdolls.
Yeah. She got me right in the leg, the little fat legs. I'm trying to remember because I actually got in a debate with someone. They didn't believe me. And it's been a couple of years since I got in that debate. And I truly have not retained the information. But someone tried to tell me that ragdolls were kind of like Maine Coons, just appeared on their own. I'm like, no, they didn't. They are a man-made variation.
I don't know.
They were like, no, they're not, and they don't include this. And I said like 4 breeds that help make them up. And they were like, no, they don't. And so I Googled and they were like, oh, well. I'm trying to remember. I know that Maine Coons and Persians and Siamese and Himalayans all played a role in making the ragdoll.
That makes sense.
I know, you're being a bitch. Yeah. I don't know how well you guys can hear her. She is sitting right next to me.
Oh no, we can hear her just fine.
Let me see if we can show you. She is right here. What? Yeah. She right here letting me know. Yeah, I have to get to bed soon too, Derp, because like I said, in the morning, I have to make sure I'm up early enough to take care of everything, because I have to go meet my boss. Super fun. I'm so excited.
Then you get to get back and stream.
Huh?
Then you get to get back and stream.
Right. And that's the only reason why I'm like, it's not that I don't want to see her or that I don't like her or anything like that. It's like, I hate when I get thrown off. Once I plan for stuff, it gets me very annoyed. Mm-hmm. I tried breeding a bulldog with a Shih Tzu, but
it's an old joke.
I'm judging you, Meta. Catch over your live streams. Star, always appreciate your animal insights. Oh, thank you, Professor. Listen, we try. I mean, are we 100% experts? No, we learn every day too. But sadly, most people don't know animals. They think they do. And it's like I've told you guys. Trump, yeah. Derp's got you for the Meta. There was a girl that I used to work with. And when she called me asking why her dog couldn't go to the bathroom normally and was acting weird and haywire, and I asked her what she fed him, and she told me Captain Crunch and waffles and syrup. And I was like, to this day, I remember my jaw just going. And then when she said, he still hasn't caught on about going to the bathroom. And I said, well, have you been training him? She goes, I tell him he has to go outside. I yell at him about it, and I'm like, okay. She goes, and he still thinks he can just beg for food at the table. I'm like, well, is anyone feeding him from the table? She said, well, my daughter does sometimes, but he should understand that by now. And I'm like, oh, Grant, you came just for a fun story. You came just in time. So I said to her, what do you mean he should catch on by now? She said, well, he should understand the pattern because he's not a person. And I said, but he's getting fed from the table. She goes, yeah, but that's different. And then after some digging, what I found out was she truly believed that dogs were like dogs on TV. That eventually these dogs would catch on what they needed to do, and she didn't have to train them. And people get fed from the table. If I get fed from the table, therefore I am a person. Exactly. Isn't it crazy how that works?
I will say Grace doesn't have to. I mean, but Grace is Grace. So
right. And I will tell you, it's. So I told her. She said, "So I can." She said, "But he loves them." I said, "Doesn't your daughter love McDonald's?" Well, yeah. Should she eat McDonald's every day? No. I was like, you're essentially feeding him chocolate cake for every meal and then wondering why he prefers that. I said, you need to feed him dog food. She's like, well, that's so expensive. I thought we could just feed him what we eat. I'm like, oh, and then somebody said he was a Yorkshire Terrier. Ask me how many pounds this dog was.
How many pounds was this
45
dog?
pounds.
I mean, it can happen, but more than likely he was a silky terrier.
He was none of these things. He was, I believe, he was a Scotty mix. I can look him up if I still have her on Facebook. I have no idea. This young lady is black, and I have no idea if she's one of the people that decided that I'm too whatever.
Not anti-racist.
Yeah, I'm not anti enough. I don't want me to explain it anymore. I know. It was the Captain Crunch that honestly sent me more than the waffle.
Honestly, the waffle and syrup is what got me.
See, the reason why the waffle and syrup didn't get me because at least she used 100% maple, so at least it was real syrup. Captain Crunch got the red dye. It's got the blue dye. It's got the refined sugars, the corn, the wheat, the soy. Oh, I always wanted a dog, but I knew I'd be below average owner at best, so I won't buy one. Right. Says Batu, that is what dog parks are for. Go and hang out at the dog park. Go pet someone else's dog and then go home. It's the best way to do it. Walk around PetSmart and just pretend you're shopping for your own pet. And then if someone's walked by, ask the question, does your dog like being pet? Get all those good feelings.
Or just go volunteer at the dog shelters. A lot of times they need someone to play with the dogs.
Someone fed their doggo sugar. Yes. And they thought, Grant, they thought that they were doing right. I'm not joking when I say this. Like, and this is not a stupid girl, like, by any means. I'm going to see if I can find her so I can show you the dog. But she would get mad. The dog would, I was like, how often are you taking the dog for walks? She goes, I don't like taking it for walks. Okay.
So what are you doing with it?
Okay, so she does still have me on Facebook. Okay.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm going to see if she got a picture of this dog somewhere.
Now, these dogs I know these specific dogs are stubborn. Since switching them to new dog food, they have been refusing to eat. The nice thing about dogs is you just leave the food and eventually they will eat.
That's true. And the thing is, like, this dog was her life. Like, she loved this dog. She just couldn't understand. All right. I'm gonna see if I can crop out because that's her kid. Well, now I'm looking at. I remember thinking like the way she described him to me. He was more like a Scotty. He does have the Yorkshire Terrier patterns, but when you see his size, you're gonna see why I laugh when she said he's a purebred Yorkshire Terrier.
I mean, Sydney's a purebred beaver terrier. So it's not outside of the realm of possibility.
It's not just his size. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. Hold on. I'm getting you the pictures now.
We're waiting. But no, but back to the food thing. I gave my friend 2 of my puppies. And with the first one, she calls me one day and tells me he's not eating his dog food. And I'm like, well, what is he eating? And she said, well, because before we realized Grace was allergic to chicken, we used chicken to tempt them to get into their...
That is a 8-year-old child holding that dog. Give you an idea of the dog's size. And the way he's shaped. Because the thing is, even if he was a large Yorkshire Terrier, them's be some thickums. That's all muscle on his leg.
Again, I have to refer back to Sydney. I know for a fact he's purebred. And he is not a fat boy, he's a muscular boy. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's... Hold on, there's another breed and I'm trying to remember it's... No, not that one. Maybe that one. Let's see if I can find some better pictures.
I'll tell you though. This dog was eaten like an EBT king.
Yeah.
He was having like every ounce of sugar and junk food possible. But I will give my friend credit where credit is due. She was like, Cassandra, can you help me?
Yeah.
I don't think she listened to an ounce of it, but yeah, he's definitely a mix. I don't know.
Australian Terrier.
I can see it somewhat, but he's got a normal shape, like he's got a proportionate shaped body. That's my only thing. Like he's very proportionate.
He could still be a mix, but I'm gonna say if there's a base, it's Australian Terrier.
Yeah, he's just a big boy. And the thing is, the other problem with it is a lot of what she tells me about this dog screams working class, screams I need a job.
Oh, Australian Terriers are actually cattle dogs.
Right, which is why I'm saying I just don't think there's any Yorkie in there, because most inbred Yorkies or Yorkies that are bred the way she told me this dog was, they're not bred from working class lines. They're bred from frou-frou lines. And they're going to act like frou-frou dogs. He doesn't act like a frou-frou dog. He acts like a bitch gonna give me what I want kind of dog. And so,
he's got a sweet face.
Listen, she loves him. It's her pride and joy, all that jazz. And
actually, it looks maybe a mix of... Pull up that second picture again. Or that third
one?
picture there. What is that coat?
Oh, I can show you his full coat. Hold on. I just had it up and I was like, should I even show it? She's already got enough on there. Let me get back into the photos. I just found a shot of his like
Is that a picture of 2 dogs tied together?
No, that's the video. That's the photo of the of Pepsi and Ringo breeding.
Yeah, that's what I mean by tied.
Yes.
That's what they call that,
Yes.
is tied.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you meant it as that or, but yes.
Yeah, I've seen Grace and Rudy do that a number of times.
And they were like, let's hope it sticks this time. Yay, inbreeding.
Funny, I mean, last few times I've seen that, I've been praying.
They're praying too, but not for what you were praying for.
Yeah, set your god damn it, Grace.
Why you so horny?
Oh, the last time I still blame Sydney for that last time because he ripped her diaper off.
You little bastard. Just because he wanted some milk.
He didn't even get any milk. He just wanted another playmate. Though he does. I need to play with him a little more. He's a very energetic little doggy.
Energetic to the max. I agree.
Oh my god. Because there's another breed, and I'm trying to remember. It's kind of in the face like that, but not Westie. Well, kind of a Westie-ish coat.
Yeah, but aren't Westies like differently colored? Or am I crazy?
Well, if it's a mix, though, you never can tell exactly which characteristics you're going to get from which parent.
Did I go too far?
It's like I had a dog growing up that was a Samoyed, and those are normally big, white, fluffy dogs.
Right.
Because his mother was got by just about every dog in the neighborhood, because the moron who owned her put her after breeding her to another Samoyed, she put her in the backyard in an open yard on a chain.
Oh my god.
So Winston was a medium-sized black dog that very much resembled somewhere in the vicinity of a mix between a lab, a German shepherd, and a Samoyed. He had the coat texture of the Samoyed. It was thick, fell out in clumps. You had to brush him constantly, and he had the most adorable curly tail. It actually, Sydney's tail reminds me of Winston's tail because Sydney's tail's extremely curled. And, but otherwise, you would not guess that was a sled dog, other than the fact he had some of the most powerful chest muscles. That dog could pull just about anybody.
And if anyone's wondering why, like, we were both shaking our heads when she said it was bad that after breeding, she chained up the dog, it's because a female dog can collect the matter of, I think it's 8 males during her heat.
A female dog will collect as much matter as is put in her.
Right, but what I'm saying is it like actually retain it to create puppies.
Yeah.
I think that's 8 different fathers.
They are literally receptive and fertile for about an entire week.
And they got 2. That was something. Oh, I just remembered. So my friend who bred her dog Nimbus. Nimbus is a Catahoula. And Nimbus wasn't supposed to breed when she did. She didn't intend for it at that point. So this is him, by the way, horror, with his full coat. Saying this right now, it's coming up.
Yeah, definitely more wiry.
They found out that after Nimbus gave birth to her single pup, she didn't really need to get the dog checked out or anything. The dog limped for a little bit. She's come to find out that apparently after when she got the dog fixed, that Nimbus's uterus had like ripped open. And the dog was just walking around like it was nothing. This dog somehow survived and healed a completely torn uterus.
I worry when I worry, despite the fact that I have had 4 perfectly healthy litters and Grace has recovered just fine afterwards, I worry when she pants for too many days afterwards. I start to freak out even though I know it's normal.
And they even say that, like you said, the dog's gonna be pregnant women, by the way, in case you ever get pregnant, you haven't been, people. Same thing, you're gonna get short of breath because your insides are rearranging.
Oh no, this is after a dog has her puppies.
Yeah, as I'm saying, your
It's
insides are rearranging back to where
oh yeah, they're coming back to where they are. But there's also a stress reaction and all that. So it's not abnormal for the dog to have panting fits afterwards. So it's but I still panic. I panic and I check her genitals a good once a day at least afterward.
And she said that Nimbus never bled. Nimbus didn't do any of that. Like, she is so floored. Like, when the doctor told her all this, she called me to tell me. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like, I was like, absolutely. Of course, she also called me and told me this while I was trying to make a beef stew on a only 30-minute window I had to get home and do it. That was the whole thing. So I was like, what? And then I'm opening the bag and Starman didn't get half the ingredients I asked for. What is wrong? Why isn't my refried beans here? You didn't say refried beans. I wrote it in the text. And I'm like, by the way, the stew came out delicious.
I've never put refried beans in a stew.
So I actually use it as a thickener. And it actually works.
Beans. Yeah.
I hate them. I despise them. But when you put them with bone broth and you put in the chuck meat and everything, and then you put in potatoes, and see what I put in my stew, right? I put in black beans, I put in kidney beans, I put in red skin potatoes cut into cubes, I put in a shit ton of chuck meat, like 4 pounds. And then I put in typically I put in sliced shiitake, but there weren't any there. I put in peas, carrots, corn, and green beans. So there's some vegetation in there. And then I put in the better than bouillon. I think it adds a really good punch to it. Bone broth. I bring that to a hard simmer. Like, I try to cook it down. And I put in the refried beans as the thickener. So you don't get like chunks of refried. It's in the broth and it disperses. And it actually does a really good job of softening up the meat. And because I don't like beans as a whole, like, do not put bushes in front of me. Unlike the food for dogs, I would be.
Oh my god.
But
you already put more beans in there than I ever would with the other beans. So
well, it developed. So I'll be very honest. Before, when I made stew, I never used beans. When Matt and I first moved down here, a little Starson side story. Matt and I were very, very, very poor. And we had to go to the soup kitchen. And when the soup kitchen gives you food, you learn to really like beans. And you learn to really like canned meat. And you learn that peanut butter, it's gonna be your staple, baby. And so the thing is, I didn't eat most of it. Matt didn't eat most of it. However, we had to eat.
Yeah.
And so what I would do is I developed, because we already had a crock pot, we brought that with us. And so what I was doing was I was taking, because they would give us canned beef, they would give us canned chicken. And again, any of you that know me and know my backstory, know my mother did not believe in any of that stuff. It was fresh all the way. And I was no different. I will absolutely turn my nose up at canned meat. However, when you need it and you need to eat it because you got it and they gave it to you for free, not Vienna sausages, because that's where I draw the line. But,
I draw my line at Spam.
And I can eat fried Spam. I can't. Nope. Anyways, I don't want to get nauseous. I haven't touched Spam in a hell of a long time. Musubi is where I will eat it, and that's it. But I would dump it all into the crock pot along with the frozen or fresh vegetables they give us, typically canned. Before, it was all canned vegetables. Like when I first did the stews, and I used to eat Smart Balance back then. So when we were done with the Smart Balance, guess what you suddenly had? Tupperware.
Woohoo!
So my freezer was full. Starman hated soup for years as a result. Because when we was poor, I would make giant vats of soup and then I would freeze it. Because then, if we had nothing, there is a vat of chicken soup. There is a beef soup. And I get, Cassie, I don't want any more soup. I'm done. I'm like, babe, it's that or hot dogs. You take your pick. And at least the soup is healthier. And, so that's where it originally developed from was we got a lot of stuff the soup kitchen handed us. And I had to learn to eat it.
Yeah.
So when I was able to afford stuff, I was like, I looked at the benefits of beans. Beans are good at keeping you fuller longer. And if you put them in a good enough broth, you can't taste them. Texture at the most, but if you've got it with potatoes and vegetables and meat, you can ignore the beans. And that's what I learned. And so I will say to you, it does add a good thing to the stew. And what I like about it is it extends the stew. So when I am eating it, I can have just one bowl. And I got all the protein I need. Sure, I might be a one-woman flute crew for a while, but it definitely does a good job. Hello, little lamb from Austria. I hope you're having a beautiful morning there.
Yeah.
But so
beans give my insides problems.
Well, yeah, I sing a tune. My IBS sometimes is mad about it, sometimes it isn't. Again, if I put enough beef in there, no problems. It's when I have less beef, which I notice because, again, Starman didn't bring me enough of the right ingredients. And so it was kind of more of a beef soup than a beef stew. Still tasted good because I know how to cook. But the ancestors spoke to me and I went, yes, you're done. And it was good. But when I got my rest of my ingredients, because the first time around, he forgot my mirin.
Nope.
He forgot my refried beans. He forgot most of the meat. And he forgot the potatoes.
How do you forget the potatoes? Of all the ingredients, the potatoes?
And they had this little crock pot seasoning thing. McCormick came out with this slow cooker.
Yeah, I remember those.
I didn't know they existed. I said, you know what? It can't hurt. McCormick usually makes pretty good seasonings and spices. We'll get that. We'll add it in. I gave him a screenshot, horror. I screenshotted the items. It had the items. He showed up with just the meat and only half of it.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, and so I'm sitting there while my friend is trying to tell me this incredible story about her dog. And I'm trying to get everything in there. I'm trying to get the beans drained. I'm trying to get them in there. Trying to get the vegetables measured. I'm trying to get the seasoning measures. And I'm like, where the fuck is my shit? And so she goes, I'll call you back later. Love you. Like I was. So, again, once I got to add all my shit in, still couldn't get the shiitake. Apparently, they're out of stock right now. It was gorgeous. I gave my dad a portion, and my coworker Diane, her and her husband. I said, because Starman was coming to pick me up from work, I was like, Diane, do you want some beef stew? Because her husband was working late at a different place that night, and she wasn't going to have anything. And so she was like, no, yeah. Like she was the first to be like no, and she's like, okay, I want to try it. And I said, I bet you're just curious to see if I can actually cook. And she said it was great.
Nice.
So, which is always nice because obviously Starman says I'm a good cook. He has no choice. He married me. And there's times where as long as it goes down and he doesn't hate it, he'll say it's good.
Yeah, sounds like sheep. He'll eat anything I put in front of him, and he'll say, "Yeah, I'll eat it." I'm like, "That's not an answer, honey."
That's not the same thing. You have to tell me, is it good?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't get that distinction, even though he knows. Like there have been things. So there was lemon pepper chicken I made once. Who made the lemon pepper? I think it was McCormick made the lemon pepper. The only disappointment they ever laid on me, and oh my god, it was disgusting. It was putrid. It was so bad. It tasted like citric farts.
Oh.
And it was disgusting. And Starman looked at me and said, "Don't ever make this again." And for him to say that to me. And there's only one dish my dad ever did to my mom with that. Because, see, back in the 70s and 80s, tuna casserole just appeared.
Yeah, it's quite a thing for me growing up.
Right. Well, my dad grew up eating tuna. We call it tuna fish. I mean, which is silly, but it's true. And so what everyone calls tuna salad, we would call tuna fish.
Mhm.
And my dad makes a tuna fish that makes me yak every time I see it, but him and my brother go crazy for it. And again, this stemmed, a lot of the lineage of my family stems from being poor. My dad was exceedingly poor. He was the last child in a family of 6, technically 9, 3 passed away at birth. And my grandmother was a single mother because my grandfather ran off like the whore that he was. And so my grandma was on the EBT food stamps back then, and she had to figure out a way to feed 4 boys and 2 girls and herself while barely working. So tuna was like, I think like 10 cents a can.
Used to be really freaking cheap.
Mm-hmm. And so mayo was cheap, tuna was cheap, and black olives were cheap, and celery, and like all these were cheap things. So my dad got in the habit of making the salad. And I think he can't make it anymore due to his heart or things like that, because I haven't heard him making it in a long time. But my dad developed making this tuna salad. My grandmother made something called crabs and beans, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's tomato sauce, crab, and green beans. And apparently everyone except for my dad goes crazy in the family over it. My dad always hated it. And so I'm very grateful it never made a hit in my household growing up. But my dad, apparently my mom made the tuna casserole, brought it out. She had one of her good Corningwares too. Put it on the table. My dad took a plate of it, took a single bite. He scraped his plate off into the Corningware, picked it up, and threw the Corningware and the tuna casserole into the trash and said, "You ever make that for me again, I will leave you on the spot." And so for years, the joke in my household was, "Let's make some tuna casserole." And so, yeah.
Tuna casserole is not my favorite, but it's edible. I can eat it. So, but not too often.
The only tuna that I can eat, and it's partly because in my mind, anytime a can of tuna is opened, I'm seeing the tuna fish. It's completely mental thing. But if you get the Italian tuna in the jar that is in olive oil, it's so good. But I also like boneless, skinless sardines. So that's something that a lot of people don't like.
Sounds really oily.
It's not. It's really not. So it is in olive oil, but it's what I like about the sardines is it's very light, refreshing. It's an easy meal. It's getting more expensive now. It used to be really cheap. These are, again, things that I developed. Yeah. Like in my household, my dad's, a lot of his habits developed from him growing up. So my dad would often sit at the kitchen table with a cup of tea, usually Lipton, and saltines and peanut butter. And that's what my dad would eat. And in my mind, that was a normal snack. That was something everyone was eating. And then sometimes it would be water crackers or saltines and sardines. Again, I didn't think anything of it. And I loved it because Dad would drink the tea. I like drinking skim milk with it. Apparently no one else does. But, so it's weird food habits like that. And I do think that it's really interesting to see how is the chat like dead or is it just me?
No, I think they all fell asleep.
I think they all
Of course, we did tell them we were leaving and then we didn't leave.
We're bad about that. But here's what I will tell you. If you like sardines, try boneless, skinless in olive oil. Or at least try it in that. It's really good. And if you're judging me, but you eat fish anyway, why not just try it? I understand if you don't like fish, different story entirely. If you don't eat fish already, why bother taking the extra leap
Right.
and having that? But if you like fish, or if you like canned fish at all, try the tuna fillets in olive oil and try the boneless, skinless sardines in olive oil. They also come in tomato sauce and they come in mustard sauce.
No thanks.
But I do believe, darling, you are right. It is 2 a.m. now.
Yeah.
Let us you take us out, babe.
Well, I will be on the midweek hump on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I will be reading Aesop's Fables. Some more of those. Friday, I'll probably play Baldur's Gate. Saturday, my friend and I are playing Frozen Flame. Then I don't know what I'll do Sunday. But Monday, I will be back here with Starsan to do some more StarMorata Animal Show. However, the next week, I will be gone from Tuesday until Saturday because we are going to Wisconsin.
Ooh. She's going to get even more Midwest. Well, that's your dingle. Oh, God, I was trying to move you around. I was like, oh, God, it's a bump. Oh, God, it's the bump.
It's not a bump. Shit.
I will be streaming at some point tomorrow, just not sure when. When my meeting is over, I will be there. I will have a new video out this week if all goes well. And I will be back here Sunday. Potentially, because I'm taking my dad out. We had to buy it months in advance. We're taking my dad out. He's gonna drive a Ferrari.
Ooh.
I know, we're really excited. So that'll be happening. But what's really exciting is, don't forget, guys, next Tuesday, not tomorrow, but next week, is my 2-year YouTuber anniversary.
Ooh, congratulations.
We'll be cooking and doing Q&As and everything else. No more 7 days to die. Oh, okay. Well, how dare you? And I wanted to exit out with, where is it? Right here. I wanted to exit out, guys, with a nice little I think you'll like it. A little video. She knows what I'm talking about. I'm gonna share this. Make sure you can see me and her. We're gonna put it this way so you can see. And enjoy the beauty of nature. And now I'm not playing the sound, but imagine, don't worry, be happy.
Playing in the background while this person gets mauled by a fucking
Don't
seal.
worry about a thing.
Every little thing's gonna be alright.
Exhibit A of why you should leave wildlife. It's this initial like chase down.
Yeah, and then
fucking mauling her. One
and
more
she's like,
reminder.
stop!
Run, girl, run! And with that, your friendly reminder to leave nature alone.
It doesn't like you.
It
Don't
doesn't
do it.
like you. It doesn't want to be pet. Remember to get your animals vaccinated, spayed, and neutered. Remember to tell the people that are important to you that you love them and to be safe. So, horror.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too.
Be safe. Don't touch the seals. This is why you don't skip.
I'm not sure gym cat class would have helped in this case. Just saying.
Nope. Have a great night, everyone. Love you all.